No Jumper, coolest, simpest podcast in the world. Coolest podcast in the world, but we're here with Lena the Plug and
I'm 22. I'm just co-hosting though.
Yeah, no, this is the Lena and Adam interview. Hi, everyone.
It's not about me. I'm just here to...
Adam sold this to me as I want Flakko to interview us, and I thought you would ask us like couple questions. I thought you were going to be like, what's Lena's favorite color? Adam, say it right now. I thought it was going to be like couples game show type
I'm just
thing.
here to make sure he doesn't lose his job.
Yes. Yeah.
You're referee.
Yo, I've gotten like 100 comments like that saying, listen, why do people think that I would even be in the least bit hard on Lena? I love Lena.
You hate all non-black women, I thought.
See, I was actually a fan of Lena before Adam.
Whoa, are you an early subscriber to my private Snapchat?
Premium
You're probably
Snap.
too young for my premium Snap.
All right.
Well, again,
That's old school.
right? Yeah. And to be fair, though, I haven't been subscribed to Lena, I don't know, like for a few years now, like
That's
on
okay.
anything.
You were an underage kid. That's cool.
Yeah, I was going to say, how old were you?
He's out here fucking 17 with a private Snap subscription.
Nah, I first seen you on, like you did like a live stream or somewhere. But yeah, I was actually a fan of Lena before Adam, so you know,
wow.
It's good. Well, to be fair, like we've all just kind of like found about Adam though, right? Like 2017, 18-ish.
I feel like well, he was already on the internet much before me,
Yeah.
but we started our sort of rise together.
Because Flakko, you might not know this, but the whole reason why we are together is because she was a thirsty clout demon who swam up in my DMs and wanted to scheme on me.
Speaking of thirsty clout demons,
That's not what happened.
now, in fact, we'll get to the thirsty clout demon stuff because you know
I didn't even know what clout was back then.
Listen, there has been some accusations regarding clout demon stuff, right? So we will get to it, Lena.
Oh, about whether I'm with Adam for the views.
I could see it.
Hey, man. But first off, like, what was like your, I guess, mindset when Adam told you your poetic Flakko is going to be interviewing you? Like, were you
like I said, he told me he was going to interview us, and so I felt like a little bit safe with that. Because Adam's always told me, like, we're never going to interview you on No Jumper. It's too weird. And then he's just fallen in love with you. So he's like, we'll have Flakko interview you. It's great. And then they put me in a group chat, and Josh immediately apologized for what was about to take place today. So that was my glimpse into today's podcast, I guess.
And for the record, this interview is being done as a promotional scheme for Lena's new podcast that you can check out on YouTube. It's called
Touchy Subject.
Touchy Subject. She has one episode out with Sky Bree. Who's the next episode going to be with?
I'm not sure if we're going to do you or Kazumi. It depends on if you're really good tomorrow on my podcast.
So she's doing big things. So everybody go support, go smash the like and all that.
Adam's basically forced me to become more like him and create a podcast.
Trying to get her outside her shell, you know?
Oh, did you hear that Kazumi said she wants to be anally penetrated by me and house phone? Well, not anally penetrated, but DP'd.
Do you think this is actually going to happen, or do you think she just said it?
I don't think I will ever do it.
Yeah, I don't think both of you guys should have sex with her at the same time. That seems like weird for the No Jumper office.
I'll DP her.
With who? Him or house phone?
Whoever. I'm a
If
businessman.
you had to DP her with one guy, would it be
Who'd you do it
him
with,
or
Adam?
house phone?
Bossa Nova.
He was not an option.
Why Bossa Nova?
Yeah, don't make Bossa Nova
I like his
feel
Jerry
weird over
curl.
here.
I'm just kidding.
No, I think Adam might be, a tad bit intimidated because he don't know for sure if I have to, tell
Well, you said that you got the Rico Strong on you, so.
Now, like Rico Strong told us he got a 13-inch pipe, but now
And even T-Rail's out here with a 7.
yo, he was honest yesterday.
He said, I'm
Is
out
there
here
a
with a
ruler
7.
being passed around in the office and you have all your guests
I
measure
asked
over
T-Rail,
you?
I go, how big you do? You go, I got a 7 on me.
Is 7 embarrassing or?
No.
If you're
not.
a real 7, I think that's pretty good because I think a lot of guys are like 5.5 saying they're 7.
Yeah.
If you got a real 7.
We still, in all this time, have not measured your penis.
No, but that's why we got a ruler coming from Amazon.
I have like 80 measuring tapes in the house. Why are we waiting on a ruler?
I'm waiting on Guinness.
No, I feel like Adam has been telling us his dick is bigger than like what it really is. Now
I don't talk about my dick or its size at all. You talk about it.
I'll do it for you. Now I've always said that Adam has the biggest white penis that I've ever seen, but I don't see enough of white penises.
Yeah, you're not watching a lot of porn.
Johnny
I think.
sins.
I don't even know what his dick looks like.
I'm
It
pretty
might
sure
be
it's
bigger
bigger
than
than
yours,
mine,
but
yeah.
I'm not sure.
Wait, hold up. So like when you say I'm not watching enough of porn, so was that statement false?
About his dick being the biggest white dick?
That like you've ever seen? Yes.
I I don't know. Like we know about Johnny Sins, but I still like I can't tell you if I think his dick is bigger.
Just say it. Just admit it. You hate my little shrimp penis.
Adam has been wanting me to talk to him in this way, where it's like a fetish. He's like, "Is it small? Is it small? Is it big?" Like, because every morning he's at the breakfast table and he's on Twitter eating, and he's like, "Oh my God, Dred's dick again." He's like,
yeah, because I'll be waking up in the morning eating eggs and just looking at Twitter, and all of a sudden it's boom, Savannah Bond getting banged in the ass by Dred, who, if you don't know, Dred's got the biggest dick in the world. It's scary.
He's giving you like dick morphia, basically.
It's scary.
Wait, how big is it?
I don't know, but it's gigantic. It looks like a fucking log. I mean, it's really
like
long.
Right here
but
is not a joke.
It's like this.
It's like very thick.
Like it is your arm.
We've talked about him so much and never met him. I feel
so
rude.
Gay, yeah. I saw he followed me back. I'm like, damn, I wonder how much he's heard me talk about him.
And that's like a natural dick, not surgically.
I love how this is the introduction to my interview.
In fact, yeah,
talk about BBCs.
Let's
yeah.
rewind, man.
Talking about Adam's dick, talking about porn dicks.
Let it plug. Oh, okay, so first off, break it down for us, man. Where are you from?
From Glendale, California, a nice little community like 10 minutes from here.
It's bomb.
It's Adam says that all the Armenians in Glendale say that everything is bomb, like pizza is bomb. That's his joke to me. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I grew up in Glendale, I guess, in LA, but I don't really feel like an LA kid because LA is so different than Glendale. I was a really good kid. Did really well in school, mostly based out of the fear of not getting good grades. Like, you know, my parents get mad at me or whatever.
I had that same fear too.
Yeah, I was like, I wasn't like really in it for the love of the learning all the time, especially because like, you know, you don't actually have to like learn stuff to do well in school. You just kind of have to learn how to pass the test and stuff. Mm-hmm. But that carried on into college. Got into college, did really well in college.
But you were outgoing. You were.
Oh yeah, I was in student government.
Yeah.
I was
School
most spirited. I dressed up for like every single pep rally, like whatever fucking theme we had. I was gonna go to Michael's, buy a T-shirt, draw something on it, make a costume.
Why do you think that was? What were you trying to get to by that?
Okay, honestly, I like loved going to school, and like it got to a point where my mom had to threaten me that like you're not gonna be able to go to school tomorrow if I didn't listen to her. Like that was her threat to me. That was a threat? Because I feel like I just liked escaping. I like leaving the house, like going to school, and I was very bubbly. Like I forgot that I did this, but I was talking to one of my friends from high school a couple years ago, and he was like, "Do you remember you would come into school on Mondays and be like, Happy Monday?" Like I was super cheery.
You sound like a person I would have been really annoyed
Back that
by.
up though.
You would hated me.
Wait, so in high school, so like I guess like you were like a great student, but what like social hierarchy did you fit in?
I would say that I didn't have like my own group, but I was friends with everybody from every single group, and everybody like knew me. And I wouldn't say that I was like super cool, but I was pretty good friends with the cool kids. I don't know. I don't feel like I really fit in anywhere. Like I just bop around with all the different people.
Okay, so then who were like your closest friends? Like what hierarchy did they fit in? Like people who you love to hang out with every day?
I probably like the people who were in student government with me because I did it for 4 years. So then you're with the same, like you have the same people in your class for all 4 years. You get really close with them. And so like a lot of my friend group were the kids who were actually going to leave and like go to a really good college and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Because I don't know, I don't feel like we were like sending tons of kids to college from my school, probably community college, but.
Now, okay, so who was like your first boyfriend in high school?
This guy, he was a drummer. He was in the band at school. So, yeah, he had like really terrible acne and like the greasiest hair and the worst teeth. I have no idea like why I was in love with him.
Loser.
But I really
was he just like
Sounds
a bad
like a loser.
boy?
I think I was really fascinated with his drumming skills, probably. And I remember like being on MySpace and he like messaged me and I was like, oh my God, this is so cool.
So this was the precursor to you having a hard on for Travis Barker.
Potentially, yeah.
Prayers up for Travis Barker.
But the only like 2 boyfriends that I had besides you were both named John, and they were both drummers, and they were both in high school. And at one point, they were in the same band.
Oh wait, so you've only had 2 boyfriends before Adam?
Yeah, I mean, I like saw guys casually, but would never say they gave me like the girlfriend title.
Okay, so now back that up then. So in high school, like were you just like a girl who was like super conservative, super shy, or were you like smashing a lot of guys in high school? Wait, I mean, it's like when I was 16, I lost my virginity to my boyfriend. And then after we broke up, I think I got like another boyfriend and had sex with him. And then after that, I had like a little bit of fun, I guess I'll say. I won't elaborate beyond that because Adam is going to run off with this. No, so, you know, again, just in general, conciseness. Like what was your body count leaving high school?
Consensus.
body
Yes.
count leaving high school. Honestly, I stopped keeping track of this and writing this stuff down like a long time ago.
Don't give them a number.
Okay.
They will weaponize it. They will weaponize it.
Was it under 10? Leaving
When
high
I
school.
left high school,
Yeah.
I honestly don't remember. Maybe.
Yeah,
No, it wasn't under 10.
Okay. I mean, like, actually, listen, that's
I had 2
actually
years.
decent.
Like, I lost my virginity the beginning of junior
Yeah.
year. So that's 2 years. It's a long time.
No, listen, that's decent. Now, college. What
Are
college
you
did you
here
go
to
to?
just call me a slut?
No, I love. Listen, yo, I love Lena. I don't think
Slut
we know.
shame me the whole time. You know, Adam and I have never had this conversation. Like, Adam doesn't know my number.
I don't want
And that's why we're
Exactly.
here.
That's
I'll weaponize it just like they will.
Exactly. He'll slut shame me.
Yeah.
Little whore. What are you in the 350s?
Way more than that.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
In fact, this is not.
He's got
about
like
Adam,
20
so we're
years
not
on
gonna-
you, okay?
The
I
girls
know.
I fuck now are a lot hotter than the girls I fucked earlier in my life too.
He's
So
got many
thanks for
decades
that.
on you.
And thank you,
I see-
OnlyFans.
Yo, and he got me beat by at least, because if he's over like 500, he got me beat by like,
No, it's not that high.
I bet it's about 500.
yeah, then he got me beat by like 470, 60-ish, you know?
Give or take.
All right, so college. So, like, what college did you go to?
I went to University of California, Santa Cruz. It's up north, like 5-6 hours. It's a hippie school, I would say. It's part of the UC system, so it's like a very good college to get into. But it's not like a party school. Like people are like smoking weed. We had like 420 festivals. Everyone's just chilling on Friday nights, getting high, having a little hangout kind of thing. It wasn't like a big sorority school or anything like that. I wasn't like very involved in school there, but when I got there, I almost immediately became friends with this girl, and we became best friends. And we got drunk, we would make out, and then when we got drunk, we'd make out, and then the next day we'd be like, okay, maybe I kind of like you. Until that turned into like a 4-year relationship.
She was a
while I was in
blue-haired
college.
campus lesbian.
I did not
Wow.
have any dyed hair back then, but my school mascot
Yeah.
is the banana slug. And people
She
like
was
to
radicalized.
say that it stands for suddenly lesbian until graduation.
Now, did you find out you like girls in high school or in college?
I had kissed girls in high school, mostly like playing games, like truth or dare type things,
Yeah.
at sleepovers, whatever. I was always open to it. It never grossed me out. And then I think like by the time I got to college, I was so over dudes. I was like, I felt like when I was in high school, I had the mentality like, oh, if I have sex with him, he'll like me. And that obviously never ended well. And I was just so like close to my girlfriend that I felt like, okay, what is actually stopping us from just being in a relationship with each other if we're just bonding over so many
What
things
was the first
together?
time you ate pussy like?
We
Was
had
it
to
with
get
her?
drunk. We both had to get drunk to do it. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. We were both in Hawaii. We had taken like a trip, all of us as friends in the summer after
You had to go to
freshman
Hawaii
year.
to eat pussy?
She was from Hawaii, so we like went there and we had a little trip. You know, we had like all like rented a little yurt type thing together, and we were all drunk one night. And I think
She had to get a yurt.
we would do dumb shit. We were like having a tea party in Hawaii. We all brought like cool clothes to dress up in as like a tea party.
Look hot to the thumbnail for Phil.
And thank you, because you guys are gonna use a really ugly photo of me in the thumbnail, and I'm gonna
No,
have
it's
to track
on you
down.
to not. It's on you to make sure that doesn't happen by moving
sir.
around, make your boobs look good, whatever you want to do.
I wore this top for a reason. But yeah, I remember very vividly. We were both drunk, and she was like, "I'm gonna go down on you," and I was like, "Okay, like we're gonna do this." And we were both
Wait.
we were both terrified.
Wait, so in like your female adventures, right?
Adventures. I mean, it was a legitimate relationship.
4 years.
Yeah, man, 4 years. Like, were you like the dyke, or were you like the girl getting ate out? Was you
We
like
both ate each other
Were you a
out.
top or a bottom?
No.
Yeah, was you like fucking girls with like dildos and shit, or were they fucking you with a dildo?
I mean, we were both new to it. Like, we both had never had like very sexual experiences with girls before. So we went to the sex store together and we bought like vibrators, but we didn't really penetrate each other that much. I think we tried to like experiment with the strap-on thing both on each other a couple times, but the strap-ons were always like really uncomfortable, and they would chafe you, or they would like fall apart because they're poorly made, and like it's not like we had a lot of money to buy like some fancy $500 strap-on. So we mostly like, you know, you feel on each other, you go down on each other, you rub on each other, that kind of thing.
Scissoring?
Scissoring's fake.
See, look how a lame ass lesbian she
Yeah,
was. She
I
wasn't
know,
even
man.
scissoring.
Okay, it's so hard to get your vaginas to be right on top of each other and for it to feel
Yeah.
comfortable. And you know, there's a lot of bone down there, so you end up hitting bone to bone, and it fucking hurts, and you get bruised.
I like going bone to bone.
that sounds pussy though. Like, you feel me?
Right? Like, you're a lesbian? Do your shit.
Yeah, come on, man. Like, go all the way.
Doesn't it make more sense to just like put your finger on a clit instead of smashing a bone on it?
It's not the same thing, no.
Bone it
You
up.
don't have a clitoris.
You don't know that.
Yeah, exactly. Listen, like there's been rumors because Flakko has big thighs and a big butt. You know, there's been rumors that I'm a trans.
That's the way he just said it. I'm a trans.
It sounded like you said trans. Like the
Couldn't you
music.
see him on Orange is the New Black with a little bit of work?
Yeah, man. Hey, be honest. Now, okay, so
I don't even get time to comment. You guys are just saying crazy things.
all right, so you
This is the
went.
Flakko show.
So you went 4 years with no penetration, or was you and her like just bringing in like guys? You know.
Oh, no. We were fully with each other. I mean, we were younger back then. I feel like she and I were both probably jealous of a lot of things that I wouldn't get jealous of now. But yeah, we had no interest in like bringing other people in a relationship. I think sometimes we would get drunk and like flirt with dudes. We'd be like, okay, if we were gonna fuck a guy, we would totally fuck him. But it would never actually like even begin to become a thought. You know, it was just like a discussion.
Yo, you were actually like, wow, that's like 4 years with no dudes. Just here. So you
Just
actually
box.
Yeah. So you actually like and date females because you actually like have an attraction to females.
So I was definitely attracted to her.
Yeah.
And I still like love her. I think about her in the most amazing ways. I think about her all the time as just like this great person that was in my life. But the reason that I couldn't be with her going forward is because I was truly more attracted to men. And like, honestly, if she had a dick, like maybe we would have still been together.
Well,
Wow.
with today's technology, that is a possibility. Yeah.
That could happen.
But yeah, ultimately, like the horniness of me wanting to fuck a guy
Yeah.
was what dragged me out of that relationship. But I feel like I stayed in it so long because I didn't want to lose my best friend.
But you didn't
And
cheat on her?
No.
You waited till after?
I've never cheated. No.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like, and you know, it's like, I feel like I flirted a little bit when we were still together at the end,
Oh, just loyal.
which, you know, I do feel bad about.
Nah, listen, what's your major though in college?
Psychology.
Yo, I said this before and I'll say it again, man. Girls who go to college for 4 years and get a psychology degree should be banned from doing OnlyFans or like any type of like work like where like they have to extract money from simps. It's a superpower at
You
that
act
point.
like girls who go get their freaking bachelors in psychology are also studying the same exact things as psychiatrists. It's like the most general thing ever. It's like you learn like a little bit about abnormal psychology, a little bit about developmental psychology. It's not like I could sit here and tell you 80 things about you that you don't know right
So
now.
your degree has not helped you to squeeze more money out of men on OnlyFans?
No, I feel like my degree and just going to college in general will give you like a better general understanding of people because and especially my subject is like you're learning more about people, but I don't think that like on a daily basis I'm really thinking about like, well, this professor studied this and then he had this theory and this theory produced these results, therefore I can extract money out of this motherfucker by using this theory.
But don't you think though, after 4 years of studying, right, that like at this point, like it's just like innate, like where like you can like just like talk to like a simp who's like desperate, you know, has like insecurities, and you can talk to him and extract money out of him, like easier than most women could.
Maybe some women would think about it in that way, but like when I'm talking to a guy on OnlyFans, like I'm not thinking about getting every last dollar out of somebody. Like if they want to buy extra content, good for them. If they're there and they're like, hey, do you have this kind of scene? I want it. Good for them. I'm not going to sit there and like manipulate someone because I also feel like that's like kind of fucked up.
So with your major, what did you think that you were going to be doing after college?
I didn't even know what I was doing in going to college. It was kind of just like you go to school and then if you're like a good kid, you graduate and you go to college. And if you're a good kid, you get a good job or you keep going to college, like in continuing higher education.
Right.
But, and that's why I had to stop myself after I got into grad school because I was like, well, what am I even doing here? Who am I doing this for? I was the first person in my family to go to college. My family's view on someone who went to college was like, as soon as they graduated, they're probably going to get a really great job and make millions of dollars and take care of everybody. But that's obviously, especially because I got into college the year of the recession. Like that wasn't the case when I graduated.
In 09?
I graduated high school in 2009 and I graduated college in 2013. And like, there's, you know, you could probably get a slightly higher paying job when you graduate college with a psychology degree. But when I went to work with kids who had autism, I was offered the same hourly wage as my job at the grocery store. So it's kind of like...
It's not something you go into if you really are trying to profit maximize, but it's also like the kind of thing that you would probably only go into if your parents were rich, right?
I don't think so. There's actually a lot of things that you can do that will maximize your profits in psychology. For example, like industrial organizational psychology, which is kind of like psychology of the workplace and figuring out workplace efficiency and that HR sort of realm of psychology. That is pretty lucrative.
Maybe you could do HR here.
Oh, I would hate to do HR here.
I think
need an HR
Josh
person.
is slacking on his job.
I would not want to have to figure out all the different little rules of things you guys say and if they're allowed and not allowed.
Yeah.
You're going to have to keep the Hoovers away from the 55th Street.
It sounds like a big nightmare, actually.
Nah, man. How soon after getting out of college did you get into, I guess, like sex work?
Well, first she goes to,
What?
the startup, right?
Well, so I graduated.
Yeah.
I was 21, and then I met you and started not OnlyFans, but Snapchat back then.
When you were 25.
Yeah, so 4 years later, I spent some time, like, I drove for Uber. I was studying for the GRE, got into grad school. I, like, nannied. I worked for families with kids with special needs. And then I actually knew this model, Courtney Tailor, the girl who recently got arrested for killing her boyfriend, the OnlyFans girl.
Remember? She got accosted in the bar the day after or whatever.
Yeah. Let's talk about, in fact,
So you were harboring
Yeah.
a fugitive.
No,
let's get back to it.
I don't
Yeah.
even remember how we came into contact with each other, but I knew her and she invited me to this like get together at the Arsenic House, which back then they were just like promoting models on their Instagram page. They had a big Snapchat, and I was sort of sick of working as like a nanny because it's not a stimulating environment and there's really nowhere you can go. You're talking to kids all day long, which is kind of what I'm doing now, between Adam and Parker. But so when I went to that house, I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. Like this could be an opportunity for me to do something else. So I was just like, hey, if you guys have any like extra work and you need someone to help you, like I'm here. And so they let me intern for a couple weeks. I worked for free and they thought I was, a good worker. So they hired me. And at that point I was basically doing like outreach to models on Instagram. And I kind of like, back then I used to call it chat snap. Like I was so unaware of social media. I got on Instagram like after I graduated college, like pretty late. So I was never I didn't know anything about social media back then. And so I feel like I kind of learned the ropes of social media, and through seeing all the girls that were coming into the office and realizing like, okay, I look way better than them. I look
You
like
felt like that?
as good as them. Well, because sometimes they would come in and they would look nothing like the photos.
But I thought you weren't really like going around looking sexy at this point in your life. Like, were you even trying to look hot at this point, or were you still on your blue-haired lesbian stage?
So my version of trying to look hot back then, I never wore makeup. I wore like mascara and blush, and that was it. Like I didn't even own foundation back then. So I had like a very different version of trying. But I'd wear like my fitted Fashion Nova jeggings. I had a frame on me, and
I had a frame on me.
Was that before or after the BBL?
Oh my god, the thing we've never talked about ever.
Don't turn your chair now.
Yeah, but talk to me.
All right, guys, cat's out of the bag. Not like
Flakko brought
nobody
it
ever
out.
guessed. I was saving this for my podcast.
Okay, hey.
Sorry, this is no jumper.
So I got my BBL when I was a nanny, like a regular person, which is a joke Adam makes all the time about girls who get BBLs to work at Staples.
Man, these days girls get a BBL to work at Staples.
Okay, so the true story.
Or I have a more devious reason. Now you probably work for a rich couple, right? As a nanny.
That's not how I got my BBL.
Now,
This is your conspiracy.
No, look.
Wait, what?
Listen, most girls, right? Like again, like young girls fresh out of college will enter into homes and be like, "Damn, bro, like he's like a rich guy. He's with this old hag. Let me try to be as sexy as possible to break up that marriage."
I actually met a guy, and he was like, he had a YouTube channel where he would like film girls working out, but would really manipulate the thumbnails to make their asses look really, really big, so he can get a lot of views. Because back then, like, that's how you can make money, and you can't do that anymore, demonetize and stuff like that. So he was kind of like, he was like, I'll train you, but you got to let me like use you in thumbnails. But I didn't have an ass back then, and he kind of got in my ear and was like, well, do you have any interest in getting a BBL? Which I thought was like, you're training these girls, you're like a trainer, but then you're telling me like I should just go buy an ass and act like this is it,
Right.
But I had a check from my grocery store job because I had like basically a workers' comp check for like $6,000.
Yeah.
What'd you do? Slip and fall?
My wrists got fucked up from working as a checker. Like I still have really weak wrists. That's why I always bring you drawers to open for me.
So you said, fuck this, I'm going to take this wrist money and put it in my ass.
They gave it to me. Okay. They were like, we're not going to take care of your wrist stuff anymore. We're not going to keep sending you to the doctor. Like, you want to settle kind of thing. And I was like, okay. And they gave me a check for $6,000. So I got a $6,000 BBL, which
it just
like,
happened to be
though?
the exact same amount.
Yes, here. So like when you got your BBL, was it ever a thought? Okay, I'm gonna get this BBL and then start this premium snap.
no,
like,
not at all. I was a nanny, and like I was just like,
You just wanted to get a more high value male.
I wasn't thinking about men at all. I was just thinking about looking better.
What were you gonna do with
Come
the
on,
fatty?
Lena. Come on, Lena.
I've always been
Yeah.
trying to get skinnier. I was not a skinny kid. I was like a
Right.
chubby kid. So I was always like, my whole life I've been trying to get more fit. And like, I did have a small waist right here, but I had like, I had like a little tire on me, I guess.
Fupa?
Not a fupa, but like it sucks because what they tell you to do now, if you're gonna get your BBL, if you're like my size or like slightly bigger, they'll be like gain weight for your BBL, so that you actually have fat to take. I didn't know any of this stuff. I didn't know anything about plastic surgery, so I was trying to lose weight up until I got my BBL. So I had like the most minimal amount of fat on me possible to put in my ass. That's why I feel like my ass is like. Like you look at my ass and you don't really think BBL right away because it's just not like that crazy big.
I do because you told me.
He didn't believe me when I told him. I remember the moment I admitted it to you. You're like, no.
I seen
Yo, we had been hanging out for mad months. We never talked about this. And one night we were just hanging out, and I just go to her. I go, "You want to know something?" She's like, "What?" I go, "My hairline's fake." She goes,
I didn't even know you could do that.
"Wow." Then like, it might have been a couple minutes later. You're like, "Well, you want to know something?" I go, "What?" You go, "My ass is fake."
I feel like back then Adam didn't want to know.
I honestly had no idea. And when I look back at it now, I would have completely known immediately.
Yeah.
But at that time, I don't think I had ever dealt with a girl with a fake ass. So I'm just thinking, damn, she got a perky ass butt.
It was really early in the BBL days, and I had big legs, so it was kind of like.
I
looked
think
like
you
it
have
kinda
one of the
matched.
better BBLs I've seen. It looks very natural.
No, but back to that though. So you was a nanny and you got a $6,000 settlement and you took it and put it into a BBL
Yes.
with no intention of attracting higher value men.
No.
Or starting a
I
premium
thought I was
snap.
going to be living my regular
Life.
life going forward. I was still a nanny, and it was like, her kids had spring break, so there was like 10 days off, and I just told her like, hey, I'm going to get surgery, and she was like, I've had lipo before. I totally get it.
But you're acting like you didn't have it in your head that you were going to be able to monetize this ass in any
'Cause
way.
I
Like,
didn't. I
you
didn't
weren't
have-
going to be able to meet guys who were going to buy you handbags at least or buy you nicer dinners. This wasn't a consideration.
I just have
Seems short-sighted.
As vain as it is, I've always just wanted to look hotter,
Yeah.
and so I wanted to make myself hotter. Like I was
Right.
already seeing a guy who was like
Rich.
doing
Rich.
Who was he wasn't even rich. He was just like training me and like telling me about how he can make money on YouTube and stuff before
Okay.
you, pre
Right.
you.
Okay.
But
And who was that guy?
a guy ended up like just like leaving because I realized he was a crazy conspiracy theorist and was always trying to like teach me flat earth
Oh,
stuff.
sounds like someone I know. Yeah. Dr. Umar over here.
We'll talk about that too. All right, so nanny, now like what year did you get into like your premium snap and start in fact or even like start monetizing like your body?
So the end of 2016, I was like so done with working at that company, and it had, dawned on me that if I left in that moment, like the numbers were adding up, that I would make a ton of money on private Snapchat if I left.
But you were starting to get attention on Instagram, right? You posted a booty picture by accident, and it
wasn't by accident.
Lil Uzi Vert liked it.
Yeah, back then it was like, you can get a lot of followers from the Explorer page back then. So
Yeah.
like it was, I was growing, and I was probably at like 50 to 100K by the time I left, maybe something like that. But you didn't even need that many followers to make money on private Snapchat. Like there was so few girls doing that thing. And so my first month after I left, I made like 30K.
But
right
she
away.
had just met Mr. 22.
Yeah.
Right
He
when
wants
she
me to introduce him.
Right when she was about 50,000 followers, which was exactly where I was at as well on Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
So we're
Okay.
feeling like at
I
that
beat
time
you to 100K.
and it was 50,000 real followers. We felt like, we had a little something brewing at the time, but nothing too crazy. She asked me when we first meet up, she says, do you think that I should start a private Snap? I said, what
Where'd
the
y'all
fuck
meet,
is
though?
that? We met because she swam up in my DMs and
I
told me
met
that she
because
was in love
that
with me.
job I was working for asked me to do outreach to radio and podcasts, and I only knew about one podcast, and so I reached out to him.
Why
But
you
yes,
only know about one podcast?
Because podcasting was very early, and I was not on YouTube like that.
You were watching
I was
No
watching.
Jumper? You weren't-
I
you
was
weren't
watching
Mark Maron?
music videos on YouTube, and I watched Dylan Francis's music videos, and that led me to your podcast because you had him on.
An EDM DJ.
Yes.
Here, so when you met up, okay, so y'all talk for a minute, and when you met up with Adam 22 now, was your mindset of I'm meeting this guy because he's hot, which is hard to believe, right? Or was it, yo, he's clouded the fuck up.
No.
I'm about to drain the fuck out
This
this
was
nigga.
my mindset at the time. He's 32. He's probably so mature. He probably has his own place. It's probably so nice and clean. He'll probably take me out on a real date. And some of those things ended up being true. You did take me out to dinner, but
Tell them about the game I laid down for all the Fresh and Fit fans out there who want to hear about the first date.
He invited me to a podcast where he was being interviewed by somebody else, so that I got to watch him in his glory. He was making out with me between
Gangsta Boo and Jackie Chan.
You were like pulling me outside and making out with me, like on the first date.
I was a horny bastard. I was making her rub my boner through my jeans and shit.
Also, don't smoke that next to me, please.
She's expecting.
She runs the relationship.
No, I don't run the relationship at all. Annoyingly.
All right, so you went. First off, that's some like great game, right? Like where like
I was all wrong. He lived in a shithole.
Yeah.
He had piles of laundry on his floor. I was totally wrong.
I lived in a dirty ass BMX flop house with a bunch of like 21-year-old little BMX boys. So they were just drunk as fuck. Girls coming in and out all night. They're smoking cigarettes in the backyard all fucking night.
Wow.
And so she comes over and she thinks I'm gonna have this fly spot, and it's like, no, I have my own room inside this fucking dirty ass house.
And Adam, at that time, well, first off, how soon into this did he say, "Yo, start a premium snap and give me 20%"?
That was
He was trying to be my YouTube manager. He was like,
worst business decision ever. If I had said I'll manage your OnlyFans, give me 20%, brilliant business decisions. You probably would have tried to renegotiate at some point. But instead, I said, no, I'm going to turn you into a YouTuber because that's the game that I knew, right?
Yes.
And her YouTube has not really made almost any money over time.
yeah.
Well, okay. So when did that happen, or like the premium snap? Like when did he say, "You'll start a premium snap"?
He
It was
didn't
her
tell me.
idea. I told her,
I
go
already
ahead.
had the idea, which I'm glad I did, because I was recently thinking, like, if Adam had tried to convince me to make a private snap shop, I would have always wondered if I would have really wanted to do it. But I already had the idea, and like just because of like thinking about my family and things like that, I was like nervous to make the plunge. But I did look at him and I was like, okay, he makes all his money off YouTube, therefore he can wake up and do whatever the fuck he wants with his day. Obviously, he's making decisions that are going to progress his business, but ultimately it's up to him what he wants to do. And
you quit your job like right when you met me? Right around that time, like right after, soon after?
Maybe like a few weeks after, yeah. But I was really interested in that part of it. I was like, okay, I don't want to clock in and clock out because like at the time, I just wanted to work out. And like, I didn't even have an hour to myself to work out because I did work like more than 8 hours a day. It wasn't like I was just there for a few hours. And so that's ultimately like why I wanted to leave.
At that point, though, I want to like and ask Adam this, right? So at this time, this is like pre-porn, pre-everything.
Right, but I had been fucking with a lot of porn stars because I had my little clout on Twitter and stuff. So I'm DMing porn stars in the valley and getting them to like have me over the house and I'm banging them and stuff. I felt pretty cool.
Right, but at this point, like when she says, "Yo, I want to do premium snap," like what made you think, okay, cool, like my girl's gonna be naked on?
But it wasn't my girl.
Snap.
It took like months and months for us to start like really dating. So I was like, yeah,
So
do
that's
it, whatever.
why he didn't care.
I didn't care, but also I had been dating or like hanging out with porn star girls who are like actually going on set doing real porn. She says, "Oh, I'm gonna make a private Snapchat and just like post booty pictures and stuff."
I would literally take
I'm
pictures
like,
of
what the hell is that?
myself
That's
in the
nothing.
shower, and that was it. It's not like I was even doing like masturbation videos.
I was hanging out with chicks who were like actually going on set and getting raw dogged all day. So I'm thinking like, that's nothing. And then she made a crazy bag. Like her first fucking week or first couple weeks, she made like 30 grand. So I'm like, what the fuck? I'm over here grinding YouTube for years and years.
For 10 bands a month.
I was like just starting to get to like 10 bands a month on YouTube at that point, doing the BMX stuff, and No Jumper was just starting to hit a little bit of a thing.
Wait, so like, how did you even like rack up like 30 bands a month? Like, what was like your marketing strategy?
It was super easy. I mean, you just say like, sign up for my private Snapchat, and back then, like, you could put swipe ups, you could put like the craziest censored nude photos on Instagram, and like you weren't gonna get in trouble for anything.
So
you know?
how did you eventually convince your boyfriend, Adam 22, a popular podcaster, to do porn with you?
Oh, there was no convincing.
Well,
This is Adam. He pulls the camera out anytime
Yeah.
we fucked anyways. And this is before I had the private Snapchat. So he liked to document.
You got to savor those memories.
Wait though, so I do want to like get to that part, but let's just rewind to like the YouTube first, right? So you had a best friend called Emily.
You know all about Emily, don't you?
Hey man,
Where's Emily at?
If he had my private Snapchat, he knows all about Emily.
I did my research. Now
Dick
it
in
was
hand.
And it was at that point though that I figured out. Wait, hold up. Like, is Lena like a female cuckold? Because you actually let Emily fuck Adam. At least you told us that you were going to let Emily fuck
sex.
Adam.
I watched them have sex.
She was holding Emily over me, like trying to tempt me back into her life because we had only fucked a couple times.
Yeah.
And then she was just like hitting me up, like, hey, like, come over. Like, me and Emily will fuck you right now. Like, she was using it to try to, like, keep me around.
Yeah, because Adam, like, was trying to take a pulse on, like, how adventurous I was, even from the first date. Like, are you into this? Are you into this? He was always trying to scheme on, like, what kind of threesome he could have. Yeah. Early on in our texting, I guess, he would like text a girl and tell the girl like, oh, Lena really wants to fuck you. And then he would text me and tell me, oh, this girl really wants to fuck you.
Yeah.
Seems like a great idea, but then they always end up talking.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Wait.
You know?
Yeah, right. But when you like hear, yo, I'm going to let him fuck my best friend and I'm going to watch.
She was jealous.
Right?
No,
if a guy did that, that's like, that's
okay,
that's
so
like
back then it's like I liked Adam and maybe Adam was like interested in me, but we didn't have the same like
bond.
We don't have what we have now. So back then he was just a guy I was fucking and I didn't feel any type of like ownership over him. I didn't feel like even like 2 or 3 months into us talking, I never felt like, oh, we're exclusive. I'm his, he's mine, you know? So I just never wanted to like put that label on anything really early. And like, I was like, this is just fun. Like I've always, you know, I was kissing girls in high school. Like I've always just been like down and adventurous and stuff. So I saw that as just like another fun thing that we could all do
But even
together.
in that first threesome that we didn't film, which probably cost you $1 million,
losses.
I remember me fucking her, and even that first time, you got kind of jealous. You're like,
No,
fuck me now.
I wasn't jealous. It was more like
Who was it?
Emily.
It was Emily.
Okay.
She acted like she didn't want to have the threesome and then was like hogging all the time and wanting to go double round. So that's why I was just like, okay, bitch. And she was more drunk than me. So I was kind of like annoyed of her because she was just super drunk.
Yeah, I went over and they're fucking drunk.
And how was Emily though? Like,
It was a good time.
like was she, you know, great? Better? Like, how was she?
No, she was dope though. She had a fat ass.
yo, this guy like lives like every nigga dreams, and he just like treats it as like if it's normal.
He probably
shit.
also doesn't want. He probably also A, doesn't really remember what her pussy felt like because it was so long ago, and B, what is he gonna sit there and say? Oh, so fucking.
I remember
good,
having a
man.
good time.
I can't wait to go
It was
back.
great. You guys both had huge asses, and that's pretty much what I'm into. So.
Yeah. Now, like you made a video. Now, okay, so when you made the video of like. Get me to 1 million and like I'm gonna drop a sex tape. Was that like sex tape already like coming out regardless? And also too, I was pissed off because you said we had to get this dude here to 1 million as well.
So
Yeah.
did we say that?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay, but let me tell you something. So the sex tape at 1 mil thing was real. Like I actually had intentions to do it because I was already doing nudity on my private Snapchat, and him and I had already started like taking nude photos and posting them on Twitter. But this was around the time when I finally hit 1 million and Adam hit 1 million, was when he thought like, oh, maybe I need to be brand safe. Maybe I need to not do sex tape at 1 mil.
Yeah.
So he kind of backed out a little bit, and I was so pissed, but I also wasn't going to fight him because what was I going to say? Like, you have to do porn with me. We eventually did put out like a free official video on Pornhub, but it was like, I feel like a little late and no one really like realized.
It wasn't as big a deal as we thought it was.
I mean, I was
gonna be.
already doing a bunch of porn on my private Snapchat.
Like what? Just like a personal stuff or with other guys?
Me, her, and
Well, me and
girls.
him.
We would just hang out and
Yeah.
get it in for the phone.
God, the private Snapchat days were so annoying.
Nah, that's true. Now, speaking of like YouTube, right? So at this point, you know, you would. I think you went on academic shit twice, right?
I went on it once before I met Adam, and I
Yes.
went on it once with Adam.
Yeah. So let's speak on that, right? So
Oh my God.
right. So look, so I'm a
This
chat
is
nigga.
the thing that's like literally
No,
never,
don't turn
in. Don't
never
turn in
gonna
now.
die. No, you're
listen
holding
though,
a
right?
gun. That's why I'm turning in. What is
No,
this?
I'm
I
looking
have
for the
your back
flies.
now, right?
I saw a
Listen.
fly.
I have your back now because I believed it, right? You know, okay, so
You were in the chat watching that stream.
yeah, right.
Oh my god.
And then I went back,
When
right?
he said he saw me on a live stream, I'm like, I know what he's talking about.
I know, right?
And then I went back. So, you know, Axe says that she said that she would let a 6-man train, but then I went back and watched both audios, like the full live stream, and then I also watched him like trying to like find it. And when I heard it, I heard a threesome, which you said you already talked to Adam about, right?
Yeah, because
So,
when I met him, he was like watching academics in front of me, and I was like, who is that? And he was like, this guy. I was like, I went on his live stream because I didn't know. I'm telling you, I was not with it on social media. Like, I didn't know anything about any YouTubers, but he messaged me and was like, do you want to do my live stream? So I just did it. And like, obviously I was talking super slutty. I wanted everyone to buy my fucking private Snapchat.
This is before you had the private Snapchat, wasn't it?
No.
But I was posting, like, the way that you get followers on Snapchat is by like doing these takeovers. And so you would basically do a takeover on a Snapchat account that already has followers, and you post pretty sexy pictures, and then you promote your Snapchat. And so everyone was already talking about that, like me just posting sexy photos that were not nude on Snapchat. And so that's like, he was like, oh, the guys in the chat tell me like you post sexy, crazy shit on Snapchat. That was like why he hit me up. Exactly. And they just kept asking me questions about like, would you fuck this kind of dick size or whatever it was.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, right. So like, okay, so it's like the clear record straight. I actually went back, trust me folks, I was gonna bring it up if it was true. But I went back and she never said she would fuck.
So you watched the original live stream?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that still existed. It's from like 2016.
Yeah, of course. Like there's like a bunch of like chat niggas who reposted that. I think after like him and Ack was going back and forth. Yeah, but you never said it. So how do you feel that like people still think you said you was going to be a part of a 6-man thing?
This is kind of something that I've just had to like accept in my whole relationship. Like I have only had sex with Adam as a male for the last 6 years. Yeah. But I get messages from people all the time saying, do you want to collab when I come to LA? Like people are not aware that I'm only having sex with one person. So it's like, I'm guilty if I do, and I'm guilty if I don't. It doesn't really matter. And so when that stuff came out with academics, I was more like mad that him as Adam's peer was like trying to like kind of piss him off in some sort of way. And like, I do think that Adam kind of didn't believe me, and so that was kind of annoying because I was like, I told you what happened the night that he's talking about. Wow. And so like this was early in my relationship with Adam, and he was like trying to figure out my like loyalties or whatever if I was telling the truth.
So Adam thought you actually like said that?
Well, he didn't really say like, oh, you're lying, but he was like, you didn't do it right, but did you, kind of thing. Like he didn't want to act like he was fully accusing me. But
you were scared that like Big Act was gonna find like this audio, and
he wanted to know like kind of like, you got to tell me like the worst thing you've ever done, so that at least if someone says it to me, like I already know, kind of thing.
I mean, because there's levels to like grimy host shit, right?
6-man train is the top.
That's a different level than like, okay, if you fuck 2 dudes at one time, okay, that's a thing. You know, you definitely put a girl in a certain box if you know that she did that. The 6-man train thing. You know, a lot of people hear that and they think Lena was really on some crazy ass shit.
Okay, but this is my quarrel with you, because the kind of girl who's gonna be with you and let you fuck other girls and have a porn podcast with you is not the kind of girl who's never had a threesome before she met you.
Right.
You want to be the girl that's gonna let. You can't always be the guy who like turns her onto certain things.
But this is the thing: as a guy, when you get with a girl, when you decide that you're gonna take her serious, you want to feel like you know what you're in for here, right?
Of course.
So like if I start hanging out with a girl and she's a porn star, like if tomorrow, if you were not my girl and I'm dating Savannah Bond and I go into it knowing that she's done all this shit, it's like, to me, you can't ever really then get mad or like be pissed off about that. But if you start dating a girl and you think she's somewhat normal and then you find out that she's doing a 6-man train, then okay, you're gonna feel a certain way, right?
Yes, but also like you've always talked crazy and told like every personal story about your life. But even like early in our relationship, I specifically remember it was New Year's when we went to that weed festival, and I was telling you about another guy I slept with one time, and I didn't even realize that this was gonna happen, but you were like kind of like, I don't want to hear about this kind of stuff. And I was like, oh, double fucking standard.
Wow.
But okay.
So Adam loves to play the, oh, I don't care.
He likes to play like, oh yeah, just go do your slutty thing. But when it comes to me, no.
But I don't care.
You're my property.
No, but like also, I didn't know you cared about me like that back then, and I wasn't even real.
You should be happy.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I should be happy, but it's also like fucked up because I'm like, well, I've done host shit too.
Well, it's a little different now too, because now we're like full blown doing porn on camera. At that time, I was maybe a little bit more closed minded.
But you had already been with other girls before me.
Right. But to be fair, like when you say host shit, like what do you mean? Like,
so before Adam, I had maybe
a threesome?
I'd had a threesome with 2 guys.
A foursome or no?
And then I had another threesome with 2 guys. and there was another guy there, but we didn't all sleep together at the same time. Like we had sex the same night, and they were all aware of the situation. We were like doing Molly and having fun. You know?
Wait. So it was a threesome first, and then one other guy like came later. And
Sounds
just got
like a good time.
It was
right?
a lot of fun. It was great.
Got you. So it was 3 guys.
3 guys, but
Yeah.
never all at the same time. Like I think that, like we went even like just the 2 of us sometimes.
Yes, right. Because you said that in like the live stream. So like, yeah, right. Like,
That's the exact night that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And these are the only 2 situations that I had with other men where it was multiple men.
Sounds like a Freaky Friday.
It was a
question
lot of
though,
fucking
right?
fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad I had my fun.
Nah, right. Oh, okay. So for the Sims out there,
Go, girl.
How did 3 men?
Adam's like, I really shouldn't have let Flakko interview her.
No, facts, right?
I wouldn't have told him to do this if I didn't think he was going to do that. This is the good shit.
Yeah. So for the Sims out there, how did 3 men convince you to have sex with them in
No one
the same night?
convinced me. I was at a party and we all took Molly, and the guys were all really cute and they were roommates, and I started having sex with one.
Roommates.
And it was a lot of fun, and then they were all really cute. I don't know. It just worked out for me.
Couple of Cabana
man.
boys.
Facts.
They were Carhartt boys.
Ooh.
Now, like, do you know like this model called Egg 2025?
What?
There's there's like a porn girl, right, called Egg 2025.
Okay.
Now, her situation with her boyfriend is kind of like and y'all two, right, where they just have sex just like that.
Which I think most girls who are having sex on OnlyFans are probably just having sex with one person because it's easier.
Right. But she's like the holy grail of pogs, right? Like she's like the girl that, like, if you ask like your favorite rapper, streamer, blah blah, they will all say she's my top 3 porn star ever, right?
I don't know who the fuck
Yeah, I have
this
no idea
is.
who
Sounds
this is.
good.
I gotta see
I'd
her
rather
page
see her.
now.
Wow.
Now look, so and here's why I asked that, right? So she was only doing content with her white boyfriend, right? And the comments was filled with, "We gonna do BBC, we gonna be BBC, right?" So eventually she did. I think there's like one video. It was like a British company, right? And she did a video, and that shit went dumb viral, made her millions, right? Mm-hmm. Now, would you ever consider doing like one of those videos?
I have considered how much money I could make if I worked with someone that wasn't Adam, and it would probably have like a pretty significant spike in my OnlyFans, and then it would just go back to where it was.
Now, like, do you think that, well, here, so like just act like Adam isn't here, right?
No, but Adam knows this. Like,
Right.
I've told
No,
Adam before,
yeah.
like, I know I would make more money if I worked with other people. And honestly, it's not even like, oh, I want to work with other people so I can make more money. Sometimes it's like a logistical thing. Like, he is busy. Like, most girls who do OnlyFans don't have partners as busy as him.
Exactly.
So sometimes when I'm trying to schedule a threesome, it's like, okay, what is in Sky's schedule that's available, and does it match with Adam's schedule and my schedule?
Exactly.
And so it's kind of sometimes frustrating because I look at girls who are working every single day, and sometimes I'm like, well, I just can't work every single day if I want to make boy or girl content because he is working, you know?
Right. So, so like, what's that guy again that you guys said that like had like the 20-inch penis?
Dread.
Here, right. So again, so for logistic reasons, right, and for
I'm
scheduling
so sick
reasons,
of talking about Dread. I'm
right?
so sorry.
If you knew, right, that Adam would like co-sign it and be good with it, would you do like a scene, just one scene with Dread, if Adam would say, you know what?
Ooh,
Ah!
body.
Yes, wow, right? So would you do like all right? Would,
He just loaded it. He jumped because I loaded it.
If
no,
it
this one here,
wouldn't mess up my relationship even 1%,
Yeah.
would I make content with other men for the
Yeah.
sake that it's easier to schedule and would vary my content? Yes.
Yeah. So right now, like the barrier between that is Adam 22.
He wants to just make this an interrogation of you as my partner. I mean, this really is the number one thing that people want us to talk about. It's like when and why and all that kind of stuff. Because it's like, my audience looks at me as like a feminist figure, and then I'm in this relationship that seems very like one-sided, and I see that, but I also see Adam's point of view, and I don't care about having sex with other men as much as maybe another girl who would fight for it.
Of course, yeah. Now, Adam, at this point, you were like you've made millions, like you're up already, right? Is that the reason why, like, you're saying, listen up, man, like I already got like too much money to even like consider that shit, or is it, like you just don't think you could get over, like, let's say I got like dread or somebody else, like,
Man, I'm
being-
sensitive. I don't think I could handle it.
I don't know. I think that early in our relationship, you would probably be like more jealous the way that I would have been more jealous. But don't you feel like now, like, you know, I'm yours and you wouldn't really personally care as much? You just care about the optics of it more?
Yeah. Like
Partially.
academics will live stream that shit.
Oh, he's so annoying.
A big act will live stream that. Listen, if act has to say fuck it, bro, I'm risking a permanent Twitch ban. I'm gonna do it.
I just feel like we got enough money. We don't got to do all this crazy shit. There's a lot of girls who like that amount of money would change things for them. I already know how much fucking money this rich bitch got in the bank. She don't got to do all that. I'll spend.
Nice
I'll buy
cover-up.
you a nice, a better Christmas present so that you don't have to take any black dicks this year.
Oh my gosh. But what if it was a white dick? You seem so intimidated by the black
Yeah.
dicks.
I don't care if it, what color. I was just saying black dick because that's what he's talking
Say
about.
it again, man. Say what?
What flavor are you into?
I don't only into one flavor, baby.
Oh,
No.
that's so
Okay.
nice.
Listen, right? Take Adam out of it, right? So if you
Don't
weren't,
turn in now.
yeah,
Oh my God.
right?
The interrogation of Lena by Flakko.
If
You
you
just wanted me to
Adam-
come here to get 1 million views off me this week.
This is what
No,
we gotta
right?
do. This is how it's done here.
So take Adam and out of it. Well, first off, have you ever been with a BBC before?
I have probably had sex with like 3 black guys, maybe.
And those were like, okay. And those were like post like the premium snap days, or like were you like in like college or high school or what?
I think before, 1 in college, or maybe 2 in college. I don't know. And 1 maybe after private Snapchat, or not after, before. I was on Instagram, but I hadn't had private Snapchat yet, so I was kind of like had followers or whatever.
Now, like, were those like 3 black dudes like famous or no?
The one guy was in college, so like he was my classmate.
Okay.
The other guy, well, one of them I guess was famous.
Oh, who?
No, actually.
Censored.
Oh, okay.
We're not turning her into Celina Powell. No, but
Okay,
people know
so
that.
I lied. So there's 4, and
Okay,
2 of
4.
them were famous.
No, but
and 2 of them are regular
The people know that because the
Mm-hmm.
video, I let my boyfriend have sex with my best friend.
Yeah.
We talk about a threesome.
She's
we
talking
had
about
with
how they had a
rapper.
threesome with a guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
a rapper.
Yeah, we can't say who.
Redacted.
Okay, redacted, right? Here, so like, what I mean, like, since you have like a big crush on like Travis Barker, I guess like
Oh my God.
right?
Why did you put
I
that
guess like
in
this
there?
question here is like pretty like dumb then, right? So then, who's like your
Why did you do this to me?
what's your preference then in like men? Like, would it be guys like Adam 22, or do you prefer darker?
You guys always want to make a discussion about color.
Yeah.
Would
My
you trade
top,
me in for somebody with a little more
My
melanin?
top celebrity crushes are like the Hemsworth brothers, which
Mm.
are white, but I also find Michael B. Jordan to be very sexy.
Wow.
The guy who had his
He's
dick
on the market.
his dick leaked on Broadway. I forget his name. He's from Grey's Anatomy.
Jesse, right? Oh,
Yes,
Jesse
Williams.
Smollett.
Jesse Williams.
No, yeah, Jesse Williams. Yo, she named her 3 crushes, and she named 2 out of 3 were
The
black
Hemsworth
guys.
brothers are 2 different guys,
Well,
and they're
come-
both white. So
well,
there's
well,
4
come
guys
on now.
and 2.
Equality.
Now, you said though that your fans
God.
consider you a feminist, right?
Yes. And I
Now-
consider myself a feminist.
Perfect. That's cool.
Are we going to bring up the abortion discussion now?
I was gonna do that, right? Now, in fact, no. Let's back up with in terms of like feminism, right? Now, okay, so like, why are you still a quote unquote like feminist? Like, do you feel like women are still behind the 8 ball, or do you feel like right now it's equality, it's equal?
I mean, I don't think that everything is perfectly equal, but I think even if women like gained more rights, like I could still call myself a feminist. I don't have to not call myself that label just because more things have been accomplished.
No, true. Now, also too, though, right? Like when it comes to, let's say, like abortion, Roe versus Wade being like an overturned. What are like? What's your take on Roe versus Wade being overturned?
I'm afraid of how strict the laws are going to get in some of the more Republican states. Like, personally, I think, like, okay, so some things that I like learned recently in this week that I, at first glance, would have thought would be radical things. Like, I read that in Canada, like, you can have an abortion at almost any time in your pregnancy, but that like almost no doctor would perform an abortion for you after 20 weeks. But if you're in a case where like the mother is going to die if the abortion isn't performed at like 35 weeks, they don't have to call a judge and wait 8 hours to get permission in order to perform the abortion. They can just save a life. And obviously these are like the rare occasions for abortion, but like a big part of the debate that's missing is that like most women aren't trying to abort children in the 3rd trimester. They are trying to abort children very, very early in the first term. And like everyone is talking about all the outside cases. And I personally believe that like a woman should be able to abort a child just because it's not the right time for her. Yes, I do think that she should take as many precautions to not get pregnant in the first place if she doesn't want that. But I do believe that she should have the right to have an abortion. And obviously if she's going to die if she doesn't have an abortion, for like a baby that she wants. Like women are getting pregnant and they're wanting the child, they have a name for the child, they have a nursery for the child, and then they have to have an abortion because they're going to die if they don't, or the child is going to come out with a really bad genetic defect that is going to make them have a worse life than they would have had if they didn't have that defect. And so
now,
personally I'm pro-choice.
Here, so like so like the last point though, like I don't think that she should dictate, like, rather not, like, for example, if it's like, like, if you give birth to the kid, he's going to have, like, autism and have, like, a bad life.
Well, they can't detect autism. So you have your baby if it has autism, no matter what. It's more like, is your baby going to have, like, Down syndrome? Or and some people are against that. They think, like, why should you get rid of babies who have Down syndrome? We should just have a community of kids who have Down syndrome. And that's fine for you, and that should be your choice if you want to raise a kid with Down syndrome. But if you don't want to raise a kid with Down syndrome, that should also be your choice. And I do know that there have been, like, tests that have come out with, like, false positives for things. And so those situations are sad if you abort a child that might have not had Down syndrome. But I also think that should just be someone's choice. They should be able to make that call for themselves.
Not quite, right? So
that's your opinion.
No, right? Here, no, not quite, right? So okay, so here, right? So like first off, right? Let's just like talk about like Roe v. Wade, right? So
okay,
right?
You want to talk about the actual case?
No. Like here, right? So like okay, so if the federal government is saying, listen, we're gonna overturn it and leave it up to the states to decide. You were born and raised in California, right? So your morals and beliefs are way different from somebody born down.
Yeah, but
like
I still come
south,
from
right?
like a conservative family background who's very Christian. So you know, it's like I do see like the religious point of view and stuff.
Exactly, right? But like, okay, so look, if somebody, right, let's say, listen, like I'm down south, I'm in Alabama. If Lennon the Plug like grew up in California, right? And if like let's say like 75% or 70% of people in Alabama, if they are anti-abortions, why shouldn't but the state of Alabama, be able to say, listen, if the majority of us is against this shit, why shouldn't we ban it if that's what the state of Alabama wants?
Because there's 25% of the population that lives there that doesn't have a choice in their own family planning and in their own body. And why is it like the decision of the rest of the people who live there to decide for those other 25%?
Yeah, we don't do that for anything else.
Yeah.
It's like if there's let's say 40% of the population thinks that people shouldn't smoke weed. Well, we don't let that, like we shouldn't let that dictate that everybody else can't smoke weed. We look at states that have, restrictive laws about alcohol and shit as just being ridiculous, right? Like I think alcohol should be sold 24 hours a day whenever the fuck people want to buy alcohol. I'm pro freedom.
And I feel
That's
like
why I'm pro
those
choice.
like religious people feel like, oh, you guys just want to go be promiscuous and not deal with the consequences. And it's like, it's not actually like that. Like they're just painting it in a very framing it in a very religious way, and it's almost like the conversation is kind of like slut shamey. Like you're telling people that they can't have sex, almost. Like I don't know if that makes sense, but it's just like it's too religious, the point of view.
Now, like when Adam says like we never do that, but like yes we do, right? Because again, for example, like the passing and legalizing of like marijuana, right?
Right.
Now, if let's say like 80% of the people in let's say like New York were anti-passing that bill, then the lawmakers probably wouldn't pass it, right? So like why shouldn't it be across the board, right? Especially with something like abortion. And also too, like
this country is about freedom. And for the same reason that I think that people should be able to buy and possess marijuana, I think that, when we look at drugs, there are some drugs where the societal consequences of them being legal would be too disastrous for us to deal with, like meth or fucking heroin or whatever, for sure. I mean, in terms of abortion, this is a very personal choice. It doesn't really affect all those. If there's 70% of people in Texas that are anti-abortion, some girl having an abortion doesn't affect them, and it shouldn't be any of their fucking business. Now, I understand what you're saying, like the point of view, if somebody genuinely believes that abortion's murder, then they should, and they are doing a great job at fighting for the ability to at least have some states where abortion's damn near illegal. But you know, from my perspective, I think abortion should be fully legal. I'm not saying it should be legal into the 8th fucking month, but I think that we should have a liberal amount of months that they could get an abortion.
And like, do you think that, again, like, we aren't, you know, like talking about like a sickly female or like a dead baby, right? Like, you know, just like a normal case of I got pregnant, I'm, let's say, a 22-year-old female, you feel me? I made some bad choices. I just want to, you know, like, get rid of it. Now, do you think that right there is murder at some point? No?
I think it's better to get rid of the fetus early, but if she doesn't, let's say she's like a drug addict and she got pregnant and she's not even aware of what's going on with her body, and she doesn't realize like what's going on until the 3rd or the 4th month, which you could be very small in your pregnancy still at that time. Do I think that she should be able to get an abortion? Yes, because obviously that kid is not going to be born into the best circumstances. But no, like, I feel like you're trying to ask me if I think that like having an abortion at 7 months is a good idea, and like I don't. No,
right? So here, right? So you just said though, right, that like you would be okay with that kid being aborted because he'll be born in some bad circumstances.
Yeah, and the mom, if the mom doesn't want you, why should we have a set of kids born to moms who don't want them? Having a kid is one of the hardest jobs in the world, and I agree with abortion more now that I'm a mother. It's like I was able to set my life up in a way where I'm able to give all of myself to Parker. And like, if I had to just have her and leave her with like my mom or a nanny and never see her, and like, that's not the best circumstance for her. And I'm just glad that I was able to do this on my terms. And I would have hoped that like, if I did, I've never been pregnant before I had Parker, but if I was pregnant, if I got pregnant in college, I would be happy that I would have to be able to finish college without having a baby and have an abortion. And I think that other girls should be able to do that, because they should be able to dictate their life and their career when men can. Like, if you got a girl pregnant at 20, like, you could go off and just live your life.
And also, too, though, if I got her pregnant and that's my kid, right, and she wants to kill it, I have no say in that, right?
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Is that right?
Yeah, but I feel like...
How's that right, though?
I mean, how would we put that into effect if the guy was going to have a say?
But do you want to pay...
Could have an abortion? How would we possibly be able to really involve a guy in that?
Or say this, though, right? Like here, right? So like, for example, though, right? If I can't choose, right, but to save my child, right? Then before the child is born, I should have a way to say, yo, listen, like, if men can't choose to like, and save their child, but then like men should be able to say, yo, listen, I don't want nothing but to like do with it. I'm not gonna pay like child support, right? So like my thing is this, right? If men don't want it and she wants to keep it, and we're still forced to deal with the consequences like child support, et cetera, then how's it right if we don't want, no, if we want it and she don't want to keep it, she can just kill it. Like also too, right?
Ooh, two bodies.
Like also too, right? If I
the
kill,
same
right?
way that everyone thinks that women should be making sure that they could deal with the consequences of a pregnancy if it happened, men, I guess, should be doing the same. Like, what would they do in that situation if someone got pregnant and if they don't want to keep it?
If someone got pregnant and didn't want to keep it, and the guy do?
If you have to. Everyone's looking at women like, oh, be responsible. But like, men now have to be a part of that conversation too. Like, could you deal with the consequences of your actions if you choose to have sex?
Yeah, right. Also true, right? And then also too is like this situation of like, yo.
So what is your opinion? What do you think? Because I feel like you're playing devil's advocate.
No, here, right? So okay, so my personal opinion, right, is like, for example, if I kill, let's say, a pregnant female, right, it counts as double murder. So hence, we've always established that fetus is a life, right? Because again,
because you're assuming that woman is gonna carry it to until she gives birth. But if you care, if you kill a pregnant woman and she's 1 week pregnant, is the same, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Right? It counts as double murder. So we've established that that's
1 week.
Well, right?
That seems.
Josh, fact check us.
Right?
I don't know. I mean,
It still counts as murder. So how come like that life still counts if I kill it, right? But like she can say, so listen, like it's I'm like 20 weeks.
pro-choice means
Pregnant.
that it should be the woman's right to make the choice
About her
if
own
she
body.
wants to kill her own. Let's not say kid. Let's say fetus.
Well, it's her body, but that kid's life though, right?
Well, when it becomes a kid is the question, and when and if the cutoff period should be very early or a bit later. That's really the question.
But I think that people who are like the pro-life people, I believe, think that the pro-choice people think that women want to be carrying babies until 38 weeks and then just decide like, oh, I want to kill it now, which is not true.
I think that now, like where there's like resources, like let's say adoption, right, where like you can just like have the
How
kid.
many kids are in the system who are not adopted right now? Look up that number.
And like, would you say though, like that's better than like being dead?
I think if you interviewed a bunch of foster kids,
Yeah. Now come on, like we can't say that being dead.
I don't think
is
they
better
would
than
necessarily
being
want
in
to
the
be
foster
dead,
system.
but like, can you look at their life and think that they always have like a better life than if the mom just like wanted to wait and have that kid later? Because a lot of women who go in to get abortions are already moms.
And I just think that the woman having control and having autonomy over her own body overrides everything. It's such an important thing for us as human beings
If
to
you
be
were
able
the
to
one
make
to
those
get
choices.
pregnant and have to decide, you would probably think a little bit differently.
I feel like if there's options of, if I give birth to this kid, again, I'm saying like she's completely healthy, right? And there's no issues to the kid.
So you would abort if the kid had Down syndrome.
Me, no, right?
Okay.
But like if they say, listen, man, like this kid, right, is gonna die like within in like a week of him being born, then I can see, all right, cool. But like if it's just like cancer or like Down syndrome, I think, right, that kid still has a right to fight for his life. You feel me?
If it's just
without her killing him.
But don't you think it should be the choice of the parent of whether or not they want to parent that kid and have that kid in their life when they already have, let's say, other kids?
It is their choice, right? They can like choose to
So you do believe it should be their choice?
here, right? They can like choose to either give it up for adoption or keep the kid, and that's the choice that like they should have, not whether or not that kid who's God's creation should die or not.
So you think even in the case of rape, a woman should carry a baby and then get pregnant and give it up for adoption?
Now that's the hard part, right? Like because rape, like how do I like sit here and say like I should force a woman to carry her rapist baby? Now that's the sketchy
and what
part.
if
You
the
should
kid
not.
What if the kid is there was a case in Brazil, a girl 11 years old got raped and the country made her carry her baby until 9 months and give birth to it?
Now to me that's hard, right? That's tough. Like ultimately,
How is that tough? That's,
Again,
a,
no.
that's a
She's
slam
a kid
dunk.
and
Yeah.
she lost her life because
course.
someone decided to rape her and then she
Yeah.
had to have a baby at 11 years old.
you're right. It's things like that, right? Like where like it's conflicting with like my faith, right? Like for example, like my faith is saying like under like no fucking circumstances, right? Like should a kid be murdered, right? Like every human being should have an opportunity to live their life. But then when I hear that,
What if the mom's gonna die if she gives birth?
Can't we all agree that your faith should have nothing to do
Get rid
with
of her.
the law?
Yeah, your faith shouldn't dictate what I believe. We're allowed to believe in different gods.
You can have whatever fucking dumbass, crazy, cooked up belief about how God would hate abortion or whatever. That's totally fine for you, but to inflict that upon everybody else is the kind of
I don't
sinister
even
thing.
think it's like for example though, right? So like we have like laws, right? Based on like what's like best for our society, right? So if somebody, let's say in Alabama, if their society is saying that, that's like that right there counts as murder, and we don't believe that should be right, then I believe they should, be able to like rule themselves opposed to somebody in California saying, Alabama, Oklahoma, you guys are fucking pieces of shit for
If
having abortions.
70% of Texans agree that gay sex was wrong, do you think gay sex should be outlawed in Texas? No,
Yeah,
because of
of
course.
You do? You
Everybody
really
should be
think
able to do whatever the fuck they want to
with
do
their
if
life
it
and
doesn't
their
hurt
bodies-
anybody
'cause-
else.
Yeah. I
Which
mean,
I know you're going to say the baby's the ones that get hurt. Okay, but
I think though, right? Like again, like as a society, like our like personal moral compass don't matter. It's what as a collective like does, right? So like
a
the
lot of the country
the
would
moral
think that-
compass should be oblivious to what the majority of
a
people
lot of the
think.
country would think that like what I do for a living is not a real job. And if they all
it's just
voted,
wrong.
it was wrong. Or if they voted that way, I wouldn't be able to work, and he wouldn't be able to work.
I think
And
I should be able to do
what
porn in
you want
Oklahoma, regardless
with
of
your
what
body.
people think of it.
I feel like if like the princess of Dubai, right? Like if the people of Dubai says, yo, listen, like we want our females, like to not be out there like that, and the majority of Dubai agrees that like, that like having like females, let's say on like OnlyFans or Pornhub, if that's not conducive to like a productive society, if they vote on that, then like who are we to say, yo, they are a piece of shits, right? Because they won't let women, like get naked, and
Well, I do think
online.
Dubai is a pretty fucked up place for that. I'm not going to Dubai.
Yo, listen, but let's skip.
Let's just breeze past abortion.
Yeah,
Keep
past
going.
that.
We know where we both stand now.
To OnlyFans, right? Now, here's my thing. Do you think that OnlyFans is exploitive to simps?
No, I think even if OnlyFans didn't exist, the men who are spending money on OnlyFans would be spending their money somewhere, whether it's on a Twitch girls stream or whatever. Like they're already purchasing. There's a desire and a demand for this sort of thing. And like I only created a Snapchat because all of these so-called simps were messaging me asking me if I had one. So then I created one so that I could sell it.
Yeah. No. So like I guess the issue isn't like now with like OnlyFans. It's with those like platforms, right? Like for example, like should it be right for IG like model or let's say OnlyFans girl, right? Should again like talking to us like a simp, an insecure guy, making him think, right? Yo, right? I'm like I'm like single, I'm interested into you, right?
Are they making them think that?
Yeah, of course. Who DMs the right to
I
a
think
point
most
where, right?
OnlyFans girls aren't really. Maybe some
These
small
guys,
timers.
No, listen, right? Because like these guys, like here. So I seen like a story that got me like so pissed off, right? So there's like OnlyFans like chick, right? Talk to this guy like and through DMs, right? And had him thinking, yo, like we are like I'm interested in you, but to a point where he paid $10K for a 30-minute meetup.
Wow.
And did she actually meet up with him?
Yes.
Lemon's
If
not
he
doing
really
meetups.
believed that,
But that's exploitive though. Like he's
No, because
insecure, he's desperate, and she's like a shark in bloody water.
she straight up said, this is my cost, this is what I'm selling for, and this is how long, and he wanted to pay. Why is that bad for her?
Like you don't think though, right? Like there should at least be like some protections for insecure, desperate simps, right? Like who just need that like interaction with somebody.
But what are we going to
And
do?
these
We're going to make
females-
laws? I think that if somebody wants to pay someone for a service, they should be able to do so. What are we going to make a law? Like you can't give a woman more than $500 for her services on OnlyFans or
That's
what?
to say that every gambling site should be shut down.
Yeah. I mean, do I feel kind of bad for this guy that he spent all his money on this? Yes. Yes, definitely.
Definitely feel bad for him, but that was like imagine having a law against that.
What is this law going
And
to
like,
look like?
are you
It's
going to tell
crazy.
gambling sites to stop taking advantage of people and getting them to keep coming in and like, it's like the same thing.
Beer,
Like
weed, everything. People are
There's
addicted
a million
to things. They
ads
spend
by
money
like
on things.
robots on Pornhub that are just like, come here, chat with this girl, it's marketing. It's the same thing. But if he chooses to actually spend the money, that's his
I have
fault.
to pee. I'll be right back.
yeah, right. Because like there's like protections for let's say like autistic people, right? Like there's still protections for them. Like what? Like so like why don't we treat like simping? Being desperate, being,
You're trying to act like it's like a debilitating like disease
It is.
or some sort of like deficit in their actual cognitive thinking that they don't have control over themselves when they do.
Bruh, boss full of cum on OnlyFans talking to this super hot girl. She can take you for everything you got, and these guys are helpless.
Not everyone's as easy as you. Not every guy's an easy sell.
Well, here, but like most of them are though, right? Again, like guys
That's
who
not
only
true. You act like every girl who tries to make like a big sale on OnlyFans is making a big sale. Finding those whales, people are down to spend a lot of money, are hard to find.
I feel like, right?
I used to sit in a chat room on a cam website, and I was like pretty well known, and I would sit there for a long time and sometimes make almost no money for like 4 hours, and then one guy would come in and spend a couple $100, and then until like the next day when he came back to my room, I probably wouldn't make like a big amount of money like that. It's not. You're making it sound like every single guy is like losing all their pocket, when in reality, like a lot of girls have free OnlyFans, are charging $5 for their OnlyFans, or selling videos for $3, sending out free videos with their purchases. Like, you're trying to frame us very, very badly.
It is the right, like here. So like here's another exploitive practice. Like you'll have these like OnlyFans, right, girls, right? Like make your OnlyFans again. Telling these simps, oh yeah, I'm about to get naughty and naked, right?
Sexting, yeah.
Yeah. And then like these guys will purchase like the OnlyFans, and it's just lingerie and like Instagram pictures. So OnlyFans is an exploitive place, and simps are being taken advantage of.
That girl, if she's lying to you and telling you, I'm sending you a masturbation video, and then she just sends you a nude picture, like, yeah, that's fucked up, that's a bad business practice, and you could complain and you can get your money back, but not every girl's doing that.
No, right? So like there's a guy like is that Bella girl, right?
Delphine?
No, like the other one, like the redhead one, right? And who said, yo, I'm starting like an OnlyFans, made like 700,000.
Bella Thorne.
Yeah, right?
Oh yeah.
And have people thinking, yo, it's about to be some like, some like new shit, and it turns out being just like fucking Instagram pictures. Isn't that exploitive? Because again, like she like took advantage of really desperate, naive, insecure men who need that interaction and crave the interaction.
I do think that's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, I do think that's fucked up, and I do think it's on every single girl to say what they're selling. Like before you even subscribe, there's like a little about me information section, and if you click like on Mia Khalifa's, it says slightly spicier than Instagram, but I don't get naked here. It's like very apparent what she's selling, and if you choose to still subscribe, you know what you're getting. And on mine, it says like all sorts of content, boy, girl, 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 threesome, whatever. So like it's on you to be paying attention to what they're posting. And yeah, sometimes they're not going to tell you what you're going to get, and they're lying, and that sucks. You spent the $5 and you don't get what you want, and that sucks. But it's like that's the girl doing that. It's like not every single girl is like that.
Again, but not every single woman, right? But like these like OnlyFans like girls, right? Going into these like interactions with these like simps, it's a very exploitative like interaction, right? Like it's definitely one-sided in terms of a power dynamic. So like at some point, should we like just like instruct just some type of like parameters to at least protect these guys from themselves?
What kind of parameters could you possibly have? OnlyFans is just a site that facilitates a transaction of one person paying another person for photos and videos. So it's like there already is a mechanism, right, where if a person feels scammed or ripped off, that they could try to request their money back, which I'm sure happens all the time. Like that really, to me, is pretty much it. That's like all that is needed, right?
Yeah, and also these guys are like never happy. They're like, send me a naughty video. You send them a fucking video masturbating, and they're like, why wasn't it in your ass? It's like they are also no, it's true. Like they just complain a lot.
No, facts. Yeah, also too, like, what was your beef with Asian doll?
What? I don't even remember at this point. I think she called you her boyfriend or something.
It was like we did the interview, and then she commented something, I think, on a photo of me on Instagram saying like, "This is my boyfriend now" or something. Yeah. And all of a sudden, all your fans start jumping in the responses to her, being like, "Bitch, how dare you?" Rah 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 rah. And I remember you weren't feeling it. Like you felt like it was kind of weird.
I thought it was kind of a weird comment because I think she like knew I was your girlfriend. It was like, bro, very
she could have been Queen 22.
Man,
woo!
I don't think she would have actually dated you.
You don't think?
You don't think so? Listen, Adam is clouded up. Like
she only fucks with killers.
You are Adam's biggest fan. I get it.
She only fucks with killers, and I am a killer.
Academic's biggest fan.
Yes. Adam probably, I'm like a top 10 biggest fan, right?
I don't know. Right? But either way, then we saw her at Rolling Loud. That's when I did that interview with her, and I think she was on a bean, and you guys got along just great. She was rolling.
I've almost never been mean to a girl in person.
Man, be real, Lena. If the beef wasn't going to be squashed and she wanted to get down and squabble, would you have squabbled with Asian doll?
You never fought anybody.
I thought you were going to ask me if I would have her on Flakko.
No, never even hit anybody.
Yes.
Squabble. Would you have squabbled?
I've never fought with anyone before.
No?
No. And I think she would totally take me. She's way
definitely
taller.
got the experience.
Yeah, and she's way taller than me.
She's whooped plenty of girls before. She probably whooped a bunch of dudes too.
I've never really hit anyone.
Yeah.
Here, so like I seen like an interview. Like, what was like your reservations of having, I guess, Adam and Celina doing content together?
Yeah, why didn't you fuck Celina Powell, man?
Hi, Celina. I love you. Please don't attack my life.
She's in jail.
She's a toxic.
She's gonna hear this in 2 years.
She's a toxic human.
You think she got a phone yet?
Yeah, of course. Come on, man. Bruh, like she's fucking for everything right now, bro. Like she's fucking guards, the female guards, the prisoners.
She's probably running it in there.
She fucking for a cup of noodles.
I feel like she's probably manipulating her way into getting some extra stuff. Yeah.
Well, maybe she's getting bullied. Maybe they're like trying to break her down so that they can control her.
Yeah, but yeah, why?
Either way, you were mad at Celina Powell for trying to fuck me, right?
Well, in the beginning, yeah, she was definitely like, she wasn't just like trying to fuck you. Like, I don't even know if she was really trying to fuck you. She would just act like she was. And then she was kind of talking down to me. She's like, what are you, like a porn star? Like, and it's funny because obviously now she has an OnlyFans.
Yeah. But when it came time to do plug talk, you didn't want to fuck her?
No.
What was it? What was wrong?
I didn't want to get more involved with her because
she's toxic.
A little bit toxic, yeah. Also, like, she admitted that she's not into girls, and like, I don't really want to fuck a girl who's like, especially admitting that she's not into girls. It's not hot.
Her scene with Rob Piper was kind of awkward on Plug Talk. Like she was kind of squirming away and like trying to act like she's sort of playing hard to get with him.
I thought she looked really good though. Like as soon as she took her clothes off, I was like, damn, like your boob job looks nice.
Was she acting like the dick hurted her or some shit like that?
Yeah, like she was kind of squirming away from it.
Whale bottom, like
Rob Piper out here just straight 12-inch thing on him. Like, get over here.
Celina Powell has a cave.
No, remember Eliza was sucking his dick in the bathroom after.
Yeah, but I think that she was like, I think Celina fucked him again after, like maybe not that day, but like later.
That's tight.
Eliza was sucking dick in the bathroom after an entire porn scene?
Well, she wasn't in the scene.
After the guy just fucked Celina, yeah.
Yeah, listen.
She's a demon.
Wait, so like, have
He's
you
like,
ever?
why wasn't I there?
Yo, speaking of why wasn't I there? Let's talk about Chromazz.
You hurt his feelings when we did that.
Yeah?
Yo, bro, like you guys broke the hearts of like 1,000 niggas. Like, bro, yo, we were in Discord legit about to cry our eyes out. Yo, because Chromazz was like the holy grail for us.
But she won't even let me get in the guts. She didn't even let me see what her pussy about. I ain't even rubbed it through the underwear.
She
but you
just
nutted
did
on
the
those
tit job.
Yes,
which was pretty cool. She got nice boobs for sure.
Yes, but yeah. So like, again, like a girl being as hot as Chromazz is, like, have you ever like thought about, damn, yo, like, have you ever like turned down a girl because you thought, damn, like he might like it a little bit too much, and I don't want to, have the super hot girl.
She's going out of her way to get the hottest girls possible, so she can't
I
really
make a lot of money.
She can't really afford to feel that way because she's trying to get the girls that are going to bring the money in.
I don't actually care because I feel very secure and confident in my relationship with you. I don't like. Adam finds most people pretty annoying. I don't feel like he's gonna meet a girl and be like, "Damn, she's so hot. I'm gonna leave Lena for her." Like he doesn't think like that. He kind of thinks like, "Okay, you're hot and I want to fuck you," but like that's probably just it. But I mean, I can also acknowledge like, okay, yeah, she's really hot. She has really huge tits. Like, of course he's gonna think she's hot. Like, why would I ever believe that a guy wouldn't think that's hot? Like, if a girl is thinking in that way, she's just lying to herself.
I mean,
I'm just admitting it.
We talk about girls like we're talking about, like, as if we were, race car fans talking about race cars. Like, damn. That thing got a nice fender on it.
We like admire girls together, obviously like if we're watching a TV show and there's like a really attractive actor on the screen, like I'm sure Adam could acknowledge like, oh, Lena probably thinks this guy's attractive because I'm a woman and he's a man. But like, no, I'm just saying like in that situation, you could acknowledge it.
I'm too alpha. Nah, but you could tell me that. I don't give a she'll be like, oh my God, that guy's so handsome.
I'm just saying
I'm
like,
all right.
Like Michael B. Jordan at like the fucking Lakers game and shit. Oh my God, look at him.
She runs over.
I don't really do stuff like that. I don't go out of my way to be like, damn, he's fine or anything like that. But I'm just saying, like, I can acknowledge that he's a sexually active male with lots of testosterone in his body, and he's gonna think that hot women are hot, and he's gonna think that I think hot men are hot or hot women are hot.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Now you're doing so you're doing like what you do, right? So what is your thought on Sharp?
My thought on Sharp is that. I think that if I came on here, Sharp would be really nice to me and it would kind of just poke holes in his whole thing because why would I be different than any of the other girls that come on here?
No, but he was nice to Sherry DeVille.
And I'm saying that as someone who's never watched any of his content.
You don't? You just see the clips here and there?
Yes. And yeah, it just sounds crazy.
Usually when he wiles out on a girl, there's a pretty good reason. At this point, maybe in the beginning there wasn't.
Like if a girl calls him a bitch, like I think Celina called him a bitch, like I could see that like triggering him and stuff like that. But like at the No Jumper show, at the live show, he just kind of got on stage and was just kind of like bitch, and I just like didn't really like what
that?
is that? Like I don't get it.
He's a performer. He's a wrestler.
But
Well,
I don't get the performance. I guess I'm not the audience for it.
Well, he's like passive. He's passive performer though, because if you talk like for example, right, Lena like she avoided like to go into like the industry porn, right, and started like her own thing. So she would probably be like anti-pimp. So like, what's your thoughts on like a sex worker coming up right now and getting a pimp? Do you think like pimps are good people? Do you think like a pimping is like necessary, or do you think like all girls should avoid having a pimp?
I honestly haven't really thought about like in-person sex work.
Yeah.
And the pimp relationship that much. Obviously, I think that like all the OnlyFans pimps who try to just like figure out how they can make money off of girls, they suck and they're not really necessary. But
Lil
like,
Pump.
Well, I'm 22, right?
Are you gonna sign a Lil Pump?
some of the girls are just like they don't know enough to know like oh, I don't need this guy. But some of the guys are not like bad people. Like sometimes a guy who has knowledge and has exposure will find a girl who's small and be like, listen, I'm going to be the one to blow you up and I'm gonna take this much from you, but you wouldn't have this without me. I'm really gonna blow you up. And like I know girls who had nothing and then they have millions of followers now because no, not her, but like other girls who like this person bought promo for them, put themselves out there, spent the money on the girl, and then the girl is now making tons of money and the guy takes half. And like I feel like in that situation, like why would I hate on that guy? Like he really did help the girl and maybe he was watching out for her like every step of the way. But I don't really feel like I could speak on like the in-person relationship. Like maybe
that's a special relationship.
Yeah.
We don't know much.
I don't know enough to
what
say
Sharp
anything.
used to do back in the day, but
here,
I mean, I could
hope is that I really hope he watched out for the girls and their safety at all times.
Yeah, listen, I'm confident because I know Sharp, like being like, bro, he's like a really nice guy. So I'm almost like confident if it was like, like Sharp really like took care of everybody.
I mean, they talk like Sharp, and I've heard him talk to other dudes about how a pimp who has to beat the girl is a bum and is not playing the game right. And Sharp is all about the game.
And I hope she's making like a majority of the money.
Oh, majority.
Or a minority, or we give her 10%.
Majority?
Yeah.
Majority.
Me and Sharp, we give him 10%.
She's doing the work.
I'll give you 10%.
Yo, have you ever heard of like Andrew Tate before? Nah, bro. So like, his philosophy is if my girlfriend decides to do an OnlyFans, I should be entitled to some of her money because her
Is he performing in it?
No, right? Because in her body, not like
her
kind of
body
like
belongs to him.
Yes, because it's his girlfriend and like her ass and shit like that, right? Should be only for his eyes. So if he's allowing her to do those things,
I think he's stupid.
I like what he's saying there. That's smart.
No, I don't think anyone should have ownership to another person's body. I don't take a cut of what Adam makes on No Jumper because he's my partner.
Well, I don't beat off on camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I could say like you give more of yourself to the business. You give more of yourself as a person to the business. Therefore, you're giving less to me. Therefore, I'm entitled to a % of what you do on No Jumper.
When you post a titty pic on Twitter, I don't feel like anything is being taken from me.
Exactly, and I don't feel the same way about you, but I don't like that. No, that's wrong.
It's dumb. Now, like you kind of like evolved and made like a brilliant like transition, right? Now, for females like Mia Khalifa, who's having like a tough time, I guess like.
What do you mean tough time?
She seems like she's huge.
She's
now.
like a real, true, I would say, celebrity in a lot of ways.
Yes, right, but she's like trying to do like the sports like commentating stuff, right. So like, right, so like whenever like she does something that's outside of, let's say, like porn or like the OnlyFans, right, and actually like try to be taken seriously as like a commentator, like the fans just troll the fuck out of her or people don't take her seriously. So like what advice would you give her to kind of like be taken seriously?
I would completely disagree with that statement. I would say that if you watch her on TikTok, she like is very engaged with her audience. She's creating TikToks all the time and that's her platform. Like maybe people don't see it as seriously as like a YouTube channel.
But is she not doing the sports commentating thing anymore? Did that not work out?
You seen her on like Complex, right?
I don't know.
She got trolled the fuck out of Complex, right?
Really?
Right, bro. People was out here spamming her shit, calling her hard-blooded. Why? Because when she tried to give opinions on sports, it's like more so like, bro, I watched you suck dick like 2 weeks ago.
But if she was really good at talking about sports on camera, I feel like people would be willing to ignore the fact that she had done porn. But it's like a lot of times I see these media companies, they want to take a porn girl and put her on a show and try to just like make her into something that she's not, and then it just doesn't really pan out, and then people end up looking at her like, oh, she took an L in this situation. I would hope that they were
actually like trolling her for the right reasons and not the wrong reasons, not just because she did porn and she's no longer doing porn. But even if a woman does that job and she never did porn, like they get fixated on something, like something about her appearance. It's never about like how she's actually delivering the content or how she's actually doing the work. It's like so much harder to be out there as a woman in that way.
But she has managed to avoid a lot of the controversy. Like Mia Khalifa, she got ISIS sending threats after her and shit like that. Lena is Armenian, and the Armenian community is an eclectic group of people, let's say. But they never really like taken an interest in what you've been doing. But I think her career,
I've seen actually tons of articles of how her career has taken like a really crazy turn and how she's so much bigger than she was before. And it's like, I feel like, yeah, people know her for the porn, but she has like true fans, even female fans from like all her TikTok stuff.
Yeah, she seems like she is doing pretty good, even though it's different. Obviously, if she decided to just do porn or just do OnlyFans, if she wanted to go all in, she could be fucking gigantic, but I'm sure she knows that.
Yeah, but she doesn't even need to. Like, she has an OnlyFans and she's probably making a killing just because she has so many followers.
Yeah. Yo, we have a beef.
Me and you?
And like, here's my beef with Lena, right?
Oh, no.
Well,
you waited this long to tell me?
No. It's because of Adam as well, right? So you allowed Adam to fuck all these hot girls, which is amazing. And then you put my brother through the toughest task in the world. You had him fuck Trisha Paytas.
Oh my God, please.
Lena, what went into that decision to let Adam fuck Trisha Paytas?
I enjoyed it.
Asked Adam if he wanted to have a threesome with Trisha and I, and he
said yes.
Wow.
I wanted to get in them cheeks.
I love Trisha.
Man.
You think Trisha's that whack? She had a nice round ass.
Man, come on, bro.
She was so much fun. I love Trisha.
Jeez.
Like, I did girl with her first, and then Adam did a scene with us like a couple months later, the Domino scene. That was, I don't know, that was a lot of fun.
So would you do like a one-on-one scene with Trisha, like eat her pussy and doing it?
You did?
I already did.
Yeah,
I did like multiple. I've done like 5 or 6 scenes with her because when I did like a collaboration, me, her, and Riley, and we filmed like 4 different videos in one day.
The dude she's getting married to, she was with him when we fucked her, right?
I think she had met him by that point, but I don't think they were really.
I think they were already together.
No, I think they were like
they
were like on and off.
She was already part of the H3 universe at that point, wasn't she?
Yeah, they were like on and off. They weren't like really together.
Well, not that it matters. It was just acting, but.
Hey, so speaking of guys, like, well, first off,
that was your beef with me that he had sex with Trisha Paytas.
Yes, man, because that was.
I had a great time that day.
Yeah.
Because listen,
why are you doing that to Trisha?
Because that was listen.
Because you're a woman hater.
Well, actually, that was actually like the first, one first thing that I bought, but that was one of right. That was one of like.
He's
the first thing that I went. Listen, bro, I went
made a video about it. He probably deleted it.
Yeah, bro, I went scavenging for it, bro.
Oh, you weren't trying to pay the $5?
I did pay
only
for the camera.
Plugtalk.com.
Yeah, you feel me, right? I did pay for it.
Your first month.
Right? No, but I was like, kind of like, what the fuck? That was like the first thing that I believe like went like super viral, right? Like Trisha Paytas shit.
That was the best day ever because I actually ate all that really good pizza.
And she made like 50 grand that day.
No, I made like 100 grand that day.
Who the fuck idea was it to do like a Pizza Man skit?
That was her fantasy.
I don't remember where the idea came up, but I like made that shirt. I got like puff paint and like drew the logo on it and stuff. I think the idea came because like Trisha does mukbangs, so I was kind of like, let's do like a mukbang porn.
But I still want to do the thing that. Have you ever seen Big Sausage Pizza, the porn brand?
No.
I still want to do that. It's where you actually like put the pizza, you cut a hole in it, and then you have the box of pizza, and then
like a dick in a box.
The girls suck your dick through the pizza box, like it's almost like a topping.
If I make that for you, will you play your dick in it?
Yes, although we'll probably get sued for copyright infringement by the good folks at BigSausagePizza.com.
Is that like a fetish? Like, why is a pizza box like a thing? Like,
I love pizza.
There are all sorts of weird things happening in porn.
Nah, man. Okay, but past porn now, right? Are you aware of guys like Kevin Samuels and FreshandFit? What do you feel about the red pill community?
He's just like, I've like been trying to avoid controversy my whole life, and he's just
talk to me, man.
This is what he's good at.
Yeah. I have to say that I've mostly watched the live stream that Adam was on, and then I've seen the clips where Fresh and Fit guys usually go viral for doing something that's framed them in a very bad way. And because I've seen those clips, I generally agree that I think they suck. I also think their comments about black women were totally wrong and totally fucked up, and I cannot believe that they said them on camera.
Well, okay, but
Go off, sis.
And,
you go off.
and I
shit.
hate like that they'll invite girls on their show and then they just like say some of the worst things about women while surrounded by a group of women. Like, I don't know why they feel proud to do that. Like, why is that good content?
So do you think like their content as a whole is just like degrading women or what?
She just sees the clips.
I see the clips, so I have a very skewed perspective on it.
Yeah.
But like, it would be nice if they're like, because their show is about like helping men and helping them
Yes.
better themselves and get women and stuff. And so like, how are you going to get women by like?
Well, if you DM 100 girls,
No.
No, but like, wouldn't
shout out my boy
their
Walter.
show be better if they like actually got men to call in and like actually ask the women questions that they have and stuff?
they
Like,
probably do. You
Super
just see the
chats.
clips, yeah.
Do they?
Well,
I mean,
the super chats, yeah.
The things that go viral are the most extreme things. Like,
Which I think they like because they know that that's how they're
but
going to
the
get
show
more
that they
views.
do, it's not 4 hours of girls getting kicked out, but it's like the girl getting kicked out is the thing you're going to see on Twitter the
Yeah.
next day. You know, like when we went there and did it, I'm not going to lie, we had a great time. Got to get to know like 15 fucking girls in the period of like a couple hours pretty decently. You know, I thought it was a good old time. But then it's obviously like the clips of Myron telling a girl to shut the fuck up and get out or whatever that go
Right.
viral, which I also understand because doing podcasts.
They did Asian Doll dirty too on the show.
no. If
I
you
don't
watched that, you would know she was wrong.
Because this is the thing, their show having that many people on camera, there are a few things that need to happen. Like there just can't be side conversations. This is going
but
out.
the
There's
girls-
10,000 people watching at home. There can't be a side conversation. Asian
I
Doll's
was
sitting over
told
there
by
having
a-
full separate conversations, and that shit just does not work. It doesn't work on here, and I want to kill House Phone every time he does it.
Then don't invite 15 drunk girls to the same fucking set and expect them to cooperate.
But that's the show. That's the whole idea. And if people are going to fuck it up by having side conversations, somebody has to police that at a certain point. So I felt for Myron because I know exactly where he's coming from. And that's why I get such a bad rap on this podcast sometimes because I'm the one out here banging bad podcasting, AD, House Phone, T-Rail. And they have fun with it. But it's like
When's the shirt coming out?
people's instinct is to just interrupt and talk over each other crazy, you know?
because they're not like
You
okay,
got to rein it in. You got to be a cop sometimes.
You can expect that of your co-hosts and of your podcast and on your podcast, but when you have like regular people coming on and you're giving them alcohol and you're creating like this party night sort of scene, like you're gonna have people who talk over each
So
other.
you think it would be better if Myron just let it become a fucking zoo?
No, but he could be nicer in how he talks about it or says it, and then he can. And then if they really don't cooperate, be like, okay, you need to leave.
It
because
is
you're
a
not
show. I think
cooperating.
everybody needs to
Wait,
fall in line
well,
on the
Listen
show.
Listen, right? So for you, again, like you're like a calm demeanor, nice girl. Girls like Asian Doll, who was from the trenches, like you gotta get like super aggressive and like bitch shut the fuck up because she's like a
She wasn't being aggressive though.
no.
She was talking.
But yeah, like talking back though, and like knowing like an Asian Doll, like you not just, hey, can you please be quiet? That would work on like a hood bit like Asian Doll. Like she's like from the trenches.
She got bodies.
I don't
Probably.
agree.
Nah, but past Fresh and Fit though, have you ever seen Kevin Samuels content?
Honestly, not really. I feel like maybe you watched it in
Rest
front of
in
me for a
peace to
second,
the
but
goat.
I don't remember anything specifically.
Rest in peace.
I'll break it down for you, right? So,
You're just of the manosphere.
He is.
Nah,
He
right.
lives it and breathes it. Yeah.
like, what's a high value man like to you? Like a man of high value.
He's ambitious.
Check.
He actually has a legitimate job that he's had for like, a while, maybe like a year or two. He's like stable in his career.
I don't have a job.
He works out, takes care of himself physically.
So
He has
I'm not high value.
He has his own place. He knows like what he wants. He has like a general understanding of what he wants for himself in 5 years.
But you see what girls do. You see the trick that they play. They'll never
Rich.
say,
Yeah.
I want a rich guy.
Yeah.
They'll say, I want an ambitious guy. Because
Yeah.
that sounds a lot better than saying rich, even
Yeah.
though reality is that what is ambition?
I don't
It's
want
just
a rich guy. I want someone who's like stable in their career and making enough money where if we combined our incomes, we would have enough money to run a household.
fact. You're a bougie bitch these days. Fact. You make me
But-
fly first class. Fact. We've stayed
I
in
pay
expensive
for
ass
half
hotels.
of it.
Fact.
I
You
pay for
love
half
the
of
high
everything.
life. If you were single right now, you could not date a guy unless he made $250,000 a year.
I honestly,
He wouldn't be able to keep up with your
weren't
lifestyle.
Together, I would just not date anyone.
I respect that. I respect that.
Nah, wait, come on, Lena. Well,
fair.
first off, this kind of cap, right? Like, you would date at some point, and the guy you would date.
I would date a what?
No,
You always use internet terms I don't understand. What?
No,
you would date though at some point,
some
right?
Oh, at
point.
some point. There's a
Yeah.
sub point. I was like, who's a sub point?
No, right. But the guys that you would date wouldn't be the guy that's like making like 50 grand a year working as a fucking like Starbucks manager, right?
Because probably the people that I would just meet
Mm-hmm.
would be in like a circle that I'm in. So like I'm probably not gonna just meet a guy who's a Starbucks manager.
Or how about this? Like you do meet a guy who's a Starbucks manager. He's nice, he's hot, or like whatever, right? Would you choose a life with that guy, or would you pursue more so of like a guy who's making $500K a year, $1 million a year?
It depends on that person, because if we broke up, right,
Yeah.
and he has someone who has millions of dollars, right,
Yeah.
and if I was
Don't put that on
willing
me.
to not be with him,
Yeah.
then like
You also
the
need-
money wasn't everything, right?
She would take the Starbucks barista out the Starbucks,
Yeah.
make him get a tattoo of her name and a penis implant, and she would turn him into an OnlyFans fuck machine. That's
This
what
is-
she would do.
Got you.
This is
So
what
you would make
Adam-
him in out
She'd
there.
say, "You're not selling bacon Gouda sandwiches anymore. Mm-hmm. You're fucking me on
crazy,
camera,
man.
buddy. Daddy
No.
long stroke. Get
Nah,
the
man.
surgery."
I don't even know what Adam's saying to me right now.
Nah,
Gang
man.
shit.
But another red pill philosophy that I do want your opinion on, you feel me? Because I do know we taking like 2 hours of your time already. But
Yeah,
yeah.
I've only been having to pee for a long time now.
Yeah,
It's
right?
okay.
Yeah, right. Okay, so one of the last questions is, now, who's the prize? Men or females? Like in terms of dating.
Why do we have to frame it that way?
Okay, I'll break it down for you, right? So look, so there's one group of, again, not males or females, right? I'm just gonna tell you, right? There's one portion of the male-female dynamic that pays the bills, that's obligated to protect and provide for you, right? And they're, again, but the most in demand, you feel me, right? Like a good, fuck that. A good guy, right? Who can pay your bills, who can protect you, provide for you, who has a legit job, who's doing well, who won't beat you and abuse you. A guy like that is more hard to find than the average.
So you're trying to say
nice-looking girl.
that's the prize because there's fewer of those people?
Yes.
I mean, I first of all don't agree with all of those statements. Like, I don't agree that this person has to always protect and provide and whatever, all
And he
those
could beat
things.
you?
And I think that shouldn't even be fucking included.
Nah, I'm saying though, right? Find a guy who's out of jail, don't have like
I
a
think
crazy past.
framing it in these ways is just so toxic to it's almost like you're pinning men and women against each other. Like, no, I'm the prize. No, I'm the prize. Like, why is it framed that way?
Who's more valuable than to you, though?
Like, I do think that sometimes obviously women could get a more say because they have more, they're like the one who calls the shots with their sex life.
They have
which
more
generally-
leverage. The pussy is way
which
more in
generally
demand.
is, like-
Pussy is way more expensive than dick. We all know that. Top female porn star gets paid a shitload. Top male porn star, not so much, unless you're dread.
Yeah, but in real life though, it'll be harder to find a guy who's 6 figures, nice, nice head on the shoulders, decent guy.
Veiny cock.
Yeah, veiny cock, right? Opposed to finding a pretty girl with some good pussy who's hot.
They're both hard to find.
Nah.
Well, depending on how high your standard is.
Nah.
That's all you want? A pretty girl with good pussy?
Well, no, me, I'm different, right?
Heart of gold.
Oh, let's ask Lena. So okay, so they clown me, right? So we're not gonna go too deep into my situation because
I know all about your situation. You don't have to tell me.
Adam come home and give the office tea for 6
No,
hours.
he'll come home and watch
before going to
80s
bed.
stream. He'll watch Disconnected in front of me. He watches all the No Jumper shit.
All right, here. So
Loser.
right. So for my situation, right? Do you feel like I'm a utter cuck simp loser, or do you feel like I'm
Let's
the perfect
recap
guy?
it for the audience.
Real quick.
Right. So I've had a girl for about 3 years now. You feel me, right? And when she met me, I was, not broke, but I was working a pathetic ass $15 an hour job, right?
Ashy.
Yeah, right. Ashy as fuck,
Dusty.
right? Dusty. You feel me? I was a dusty Negro, Mike. You feel me? Now, in the last 8 months, right? I've gotten some money, because Adam also pays me very well. Thank you, Adam. You feel me? Right? Plus my YouTube, you feel me? Write checks, right? So I'm doing better than most 24-year-olds, right? I'm finally, I do well. So now I'm spending more on her now because I'm doing really well now since she held it down for 2 years when I didn't have shit.
But she won't let him fuck.
Well, because she's waiting until marriage, which I'm happy, which I'm good with, right? Because she's, religious.
What is your relationship based on now that you live here?
Like we still talk and communicate often. You feel me? She's my support system. And she makes life a lot easier for me. Right now, I feel like that's my ride or die since it's been 3 years. But they feel as if spending money on a female, especially in the essence of $15,000 that you haven't fucked, that's outrageous.
My question is, would she still be with you if you didn't spend that money on her?
Well, now I don't know since like it already started. So right, like for example, right, like for a girl to like go from a life that she never knew.
But why is it your job to provide that life for her?
Well, now I'm not providing no more, right? Because again, like she just graduated, college, right? And she's making her own money now, and she does great, right?
So then you don't spend money on her now.
Now it's not as excessive as it was.
But what were you buying her before? Just stuff, or were you like paying for school?
No, like for example, right? Again, like black women, I love black women, right? But their hair, like for example, wigs, right? Listen, wigs are like
they're very expensive,
right? So like wigs are like $600. You feel me? Nails, eyelashes, blah
Would
blah.
you still
right?
love her if she didn't have her hair done and her nails done?
Like every day? No, right? Like, look. So like,
if you wouldn't love her if she didn't have her hair and her nails done, then yes, I do think it's on you to pay for it.
I agree. Now, right? And then also too, it's kind of like, bro, like I haven't spent that much money. Like again, like till I think about it though, right? Like this month alone, last month, I made about like 15,000, right? Now, if somebody, let's say, like worked at freaking like Starbucks, right, and they made, let's say, $2,500 a month. If they told you, yo, I spent $2,500 a month in the last 6 months and on my girl, and you would say that's not shit, right? Right?
How much?
2,500 in 6 months.
And then you, sure.
Right? Okay,
whatever.
cool. Right?
I don't care.
Yes. But if I say, yo, I spent $15K on my girl in 6 months, how the fuck would you ever do that?
Well, when I first heard that number, I thought you were just like buying her a bunch of bougie shit, like bags and stuff.
No, he's just cash apping her.
Yeah, well, like, okay, for example, right, I'm really bad at gifts, right? So, for example, like, and her birthday is around like the whole, like the Thanksgiving day, right? So like, it's like her birthday, then there's Christmas, right? And then like February comes, and then there's Valentine's Day, right? So like in like that like time frame, like you intend to like splurge, right? So opposed to like trying to like buy her a gift that I would think she like, why not just give her, like $1,500, buy the bag you want, right?
Take the romance out of it,
right?
She'd be so mad if it was like, it's your birthday, here's 10 grand, here's a here's
I don't know,
a
maybe
gift
I have
certificate.
like a different mentality, but like I would never expect Adam to like.
He's rich now though.
Even though he has money, I would never expect for him to just like pay for the things that I want and need. Like if we're gonna get married. If we got married and then let's say I didn't have any money and I like needed a car. Yes, I would expect him to help me with the car because we're married now and because I really take care of him and I really take care of the kid and stuff.
But we've always been on kind of like a similar financial level. Like sometimes one of us will be higher than the other one, sometimes the other way. But I mean, I see a lot of relationships where it's like super normal for guys to be giving girls like large amounts of cash, buying girls cars on their birthday, shit like that.
Like, just to give it
us,
for no
that's
reason.
very foreign. Like we will buy each other nice shit on holidays and stuff like that, but it's not like I spent this amount of money on you to prove that I love you this much, which I feel like a lot of people in their gift giving, it's way too explicit and weird.
Yeah, but also like,
days.
There's like the love languages. And I know like for some people, gift is a love language, but like a gift doesn't have to be like a $1,500 gift and like a bag and stuff like that. Like, I feel like I would be much happier if Adam like was like, don't like he was like, oh, on the 15th of this month, like I'm doing something for us. Don't work that day. And we had a picnic on the beach. Like that in itself is a gift. Like he gave me his time that day.
Because you're rich.
No, even besides that, because it's like his attention to me and his taking away one day of his work day is like it speaks more volumes than like I could just go buy myself a bag. Yes, that's true. But even without that, like it's like, oh, he wanted to take the time and spend the time with me. And I feel like with you and your girl, like, I don't really understand the relationship unless she would still stay with you if you didn't pay for all her things.
I'll give you an example. The other day, I got her presents for your birthday. And her aunts were around. Her aunts who are Armenian, and they get very excited about material possessions. And they were all like basically cheering while she was opening the Gucci bags and all this shit that I got her. And it was fucking hilarious because she liked it and stuff. But I know to her, the thing that's really going to sweep her off her feet is if I did some like super crazy, sweet, fuckboy shit, you know. But
I always save the card because he always writes a nice card.
But like the family were hooting and hollering, going hard just for the material possessions and shit. Just because, I mean, to them, it's like, damn, you spend a shitload of money and stuff. So it was kind of funny because it's like, I know that like she has a certain perspective or a certain way of appreciating gifts, but I very much liked giving her gifts in front of a cheering
Adam likes
section.
everything to be a big show.
That was fun. I like it.
Well, hey,
Should
man.
have filmed it.
Nah, man. So like when the family's there, though, I can definitely see Adam wanting to flex.
I had never even thought about it,
I
but then
won't
all of
put
a
on
sudden
a-
it was happening, and I was just like, oh, this is fun.
Sometimes I'll put on a pair of like designer shoes and Adam will be like, I got those for you, right? And I'm like, no, I bought these for me. Like he so wants to be the one who got them for me.
But that's the thing about us is that like any of the expensive clothes that we own or whatever, we so don't give a shit. So it's like sometimes I'll be wearing like $800 jeans, and somebody will be like, what kind of jeans are those? I'll be like, I don't know, I forgot.
Wait, let's say you are Armenian, right? Now, do you consider yourself white or no?
She's a POC.
It's like Armenia is in like Eurasia.
Yeah.
But then there's so much Middle Eastern influence that I feel like my whole life I thought I was Middle Eastern. But then as I came to know more about geography as I got older, I guess you would say that Armenians are white. Like that's the box that you should check if you're checking a box on like the census or whatever.
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of Armenians would not call themselves white, even though they like pass as white in society and get treated as white people.
But one time we were at a party at the old On Some Shit store back in the day.
Yeah.
And these two people who I believe were of color, they came up to Lena and they were just like, we just want to thank you so much. It's so amazing seeing a person of color like you doing big things. And she was like, I'm a person of color?
They called me a POC. I was so weirded out by that.
Because a lot of people call her white, which is like, to me, I'm like, whatever. Like, I get it. Like, everybody just likes to simplify everything down, you know? But for me, it's like when I go to her crib, like, and I'm around her family and stuff, I'm white. Like, even though obviously every white family is different or whatever.
Yeah, like
but
they would consider him the white boy. Like, they don't really consider themselves
when
white.
I go to their shit, it's like, it's almost like the equivalent of if I had like a Vietnamese girlfriend and I was going and being around her family and they have all these different traditions and all this different food and everything. It's not like completely foreign to me, but because.
But as far as features go, I feel like we have like European-ish features. Some Armenians.
But I mean, I've traveled the world a lot, so the Armenian shit, like a lot of the food, you know, I've been around. I ate a lot of stuff similar to it, but I have found out about a lot of amazing food. Although I'm not really into the grape leaves of it.
I feel like in person she don't look as white though, right? Like she looks like a person of color, like from this, you know, like Lance hair, but like.
Yeah, I feel like there's could be an ethnic ambiguity.
People used to think she was Mexican when I first
I've
started
gotten
posting
Mexican,
her and stuff.
I've gotten Russian.
Just because in LA everybody
Greek.
gets boiled down to black, white, or Mexican.
Yeah, hair. So like
Or
before,
Asian, I guess.
Right. So like before we like get to like your wedding and like engagement shit, right? I do want to ask, who was like your favorite girl that you've been with Adam?
Ooh.
Was it Chromazz?
Ooh,
We didn't
we
even
didn't
fuck
have
her,
like real
though.
sex with her, but she is a lot of fun and she talked the whole scene.
She was great. She was a great time.
If she did decide to actually do porn, she would kill it.
If Chromazz decided to do actual porn and shoot with us all the time, we could help blow her the fuck up so much, but Chromazz is not serious about her bag. However, I'm leaving the door open. If she wants to get serious about her bag, then I'm here for it.
Yo, listen. You have to promise me, right? You won't put
She'll
me.
watch.
You won't put me through the pain of seeing another black guy fuck Chromazz first. You at least have to offer me something to
I don't
fuck
control
Chromazz
that.
first.
If she wants to fuck a black man, then
No,
it's just
have
gonna
me
happen,
fuck her,
right?
please.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Please,
You're
yo.
in a relationship, my friend.
Bro, I don't give a fuck with Chromazz, man. Bro, listen, it's two girls in the world for me. It's Malu Travahajo and Chromazz. You know, those two girls.
So, best pussy we ever got. Throw some names out. Plug Talk has just been a whole bunch
Kira
of
Noir, obviously my go-to. She's a lot of
fire.
fun.
Fire.
Riley Reid.
Yeah, Riley's always fun to work with because I'm like really good friends with her. So
We can't bang her anymore, but
she's married.
it was great while it lasted.
Carmen Karma is always really fun.
Love Carmen.
I love girls who like love girls, and that's why like a lot of the girls we've had the most fun with are like they would consider themselves to be straight up lesbians.
Carmen Karma, top given, top rated top giver. And same thing with Adriana Chechik too. She's like a
She's a lot
sex
of fun,
athlete.
too.
She's a blast.
We had a lot of fun with Kenzie.
Kenzie
I was like an
yes.
animal with her.
A sex athlete?
Even the other day we shot with Ryan Reed and we had a blast.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot
She
of
was
the
eating my
girls
butt. She told me
blended
to
together.
shave my asshole right after the scene.
Yo, we're gonna get into that too.
Yeah,
Please.
no, she's got booty on her breath right now.
So first off,
Mine.
and who was the best though? Like you listed a bunch
Best
of girls.
girl?
Yeah, the best girl.
I would say Kira was my favorite. She's just like very sensual, and like I just like if someone just rubs me, I feel like I would come, and she just like touches me like this.
Yeah,
It's
it was like this thing where like
very
normally I'm
sensual.
watching the girls eat each other's pussies before we get into it, and like I see her liking it, but when I saw her and Kira, I'm like, oh, so this is what you look like when you really like it. Oh,
now,
me get in there.
Now, Asik, now this is gonna be just me and you, all right?
okay.
leave me out.
Don't let him convince you to like change your answers, okay? So first off, did you introduce Adam to the ass eating thing, or was he already like bald eagle when you met him?
You tell him.
So when I first met Adam, pretty early in our relationship, we went to this
The first night.
No, you didn't. No, you ate my ass the first night.
Yes.
I didn't eat your ass. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. So you eating in his ass. Who introduced
Okay.
you to who?
So we did Molly where it was New Year's and we were fucking when we did the only times I ever did Molly together we fucked for like maybe 6 or 7 hours nonstop.
Wow.
And he like got on my face and I was sucking his dick and then he just kept scooting forward eventually.
Wow.
And he was like and
Poor
I
man.
was terrified. I was like, what the fuck is he doing?
Wow.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
Gina's
And
like,
then-
oh hell no.
Poor man.
Hey, were you intentionally scooting up? Or
Oh yeah, I was scooting up.
He was
Yeah,
fully putting his asshole on my face and I was like, ah!
I was rolling off the Molly trying to plunk my butt down
I
on her
was
mouth.
so scared. I was like, wait, what am I supposed to do here? Like, I didn't really even know about ass eating back
Wow.
At this, you didn't. So I ate your ass the first night that we met, and you
Yeah.
thought that was all good, but you didn't think that you were ever going to eat my butt.
then. Because I had
That's
to be on
fucked
all
up.
fours. So I was like on all fours and you're about to go in. But before you just like licked my butt a little bit, you wouldn't sit. I didn't like suffocate you with my butthole and make you
So
have
were
no
you-
choice in the matter.
So first off,
You had a choice.
You're heavy, man.
We had a safe word.
so Adam was screwing over, trying to put his butthole
And
in
I-
your mouth.
I was so scared. And I think I just like, like did that whole thing. But then I think I got more comfortable with it later. Like, yeah.
Yo, usually like when I hear these stories, it's the female who will like go from the gooch like the ass, and then like kind of like progressively like bring the guy into it. But Adam was already like craving it.
Adam off an
Needed
E-pill.
it.
When I asked him about it later, I was like, wait, do you really like that? He was like, I was testing you. He always talked about testing me in the beginning of our relationship.
Was that your
I
first
know
time
that
getting your ass ate?
No.
So who introduced you?
He
to
likes
that?
it. He's lying.
I don't know. I've had a few girls dive down there and just start slobbering away on it over the years, and
Big
that
mistake.
got me used to it. Yeah, but now I got these girls telling me I got to keep the shit shaved and shit.
Yeah.
It's
Now,
crazy. It's
question.
out of control.
Now,
Feminism
again-
is out of control.
Now listen, this is a real question, right, Lena? Again, just me and you, Lena. Now, when Adam gets his ass ate, right, the world want to know: has Adam ever crossed over, arched his back,
No.
and let you eat it like that?
I wish he would because it'd be easier to get to it, but no.
No, but you know what we haven't done in a long time that I
Stop
like?
smoking next to me.
I like when you're sucking it from the back and eating the ass.
Yeah, but you can't get back. It's just so much ass. It's like in your face like a curtain.
Wait,
She said I got a BBL.
wait. Hold up, though. But like, isn't that like doggy, right? So no, I'm saying, has Adam ever been on all fours, bent over, looking back at it as you ate his ass?
No.
Yeah, remember that picture of you eating my ass from behind that I took a selfie? That was way back in the day.
I mean,
It was the first time that you baby wiped my butt.
That's so he has been bent over,
But I
looking
think we
back as
like
you ate
did
his
it for a
ass.
photo.
That was,
it
like,
wasn't
one
like
time,
serious.
yeah.
Like we weren't even actually having sex when that happened. You were just like we just like.
You're eating it tonight.
Wow. Here.
You need a shower in front of me.
No.
Yes, I
Hose
need
me
to-
down.
Oh man. So do you like take his feet and put it like in the back of his head and eat the ass that way, or like how do you
How
eat?
flexible do you think I am?
How do you eat
Tuck my
Adam's
heels
ass?
behind my head.
Right?
How do you eat Adam's ass?
How do you eat it normally? Or what's like the most like unique position you've eaten Adam
Usually
ass
he's
in?
laying on the bed and I'm sucking his dick, and then he'll just like keep scooting his butt a little up, so
Wow.
I get the message.
So this guy craves it. He needs it.
It's only happened a couple of times.
Yeah, right. It's been 6
yo.
years. It's happened way more than a couple
Flakko,
times.
let me tell you something. She tried to digitally penetrate me. She tried to stick her finger in my ass
Said
one
I
time.
could, and I didn't lubricate it enough.
It hurt.
Wait, hold up. So he agreed to let you put your finger in his
Yeah,
ass.
and I got too excited, and I didn't lubricate it, and it didn't. Yeah, it didn't go well.
Shut the door on that forever.
Wait, hold up. So how far would this go? So again, let's say,
It didn't
right?
go in at all.
No, right. So okay, so let's say if Adam comes home today and say, "Hey, baby, I seen this crazy porn. I want to experiment getting pegged." Would you be down for it?
Probably not.
What?
What?
I'd put my finger in his butt, but I don't know if I would want to like wear a whole machine for him.
Machine. It's just a strap on.
Wow,
I'm not trying to get pegged though.
Also, strap-ons really hurt.
No, thank you.
that's crazy, man. Now your engagement day. First off, did you know that he was about to propose, or?
No, I was so annoyed of him. I was like, why are we taking these super romantic photos?
Oh, really?
She was like, "This is like an engagement shoot."
Yeah, because the photographer to get the photos, she was like, okay, like hold hands and like run into each other like you're drunk.
And
I
why
was-
is there a guy with a drone?
I didn't really notice the drone.
But that's like when I look at it now. I was thinking that I'm like, why would she believe that this was just a photo shoot when there's a drone guy here
I didn't
filming?
know about I thought the drone guy was just like a different party.
I told her
from
the
us.
drone guy was a fan. Didn't
Wow.
I? I was like, oh, this the drone. Oh,
It
it's
didn't
just
need
like a fan
explaining
we're
it.
just meeting up
I
with.
wasn't really thinking about
I was
it.
trying to like act like the drone guy was no big deal. Like, oh, it's just some guy.
Yeah, it was a total surprise to me. I didn't know.
Like, were you expecting him though to like propose sooner?
I thought he was never gonna propose.
Why?
I was actually telling my sister like the day before that, like, ugh, I'm leaving Adam. He's never gonna propose to me.
Oh man.
Wow, it all comes out on
And
the
my
interview.
sister already knew. So then she was like, she wanted to tell me so bad, but she couldn't.
Oh,
Wow.
you were really gonna leave me?
It was like Parker
She was in it for the ring.
Yeah.
No, Parker was 6 months old at that time, and it was like that was tough times for our relationship. Not like we were fighting a lot, but I just like felt like
You were gonna
you're-
leave me, take my baby.
No, like we had the baby, and like my life completely changed, and your life stayed exactly the same. And so I was like pissed at you. Like I'm over here, I'm stuck to a rocking chair. I can't pee when I want. I can't like go to the fucking grocery store when I want. And it was like it's your fault.
And meanwhile, I'm in here just grinding out these interviews to keep
Oh my
these
God.
fans happy.
I will never forget when I had first had her. She was maybe like 5 days old, and I had really bad like postpartum blues, and I would like cry at the same time every single day. Like it felt like when you're like coming down from a drug, like just so depressed. And he came home and there was the fucking verses with like Jeezy.
Jeezy and
Wow.
Gucci.
And I'm like crying and I'm like emotional and I'm trying to like talk to him.
And I walk in the door and I'm watching it, laughing my ass
Yeah.
off because they're doing this Pookie Loke shit,
And
whatever.
he's like high as fuck, and I'm trying to like get him because Parker wasn't sleeping.
Of
Like I
course.
was like a fucking mess, and he just like could not read the room. I was like, I fucking hate you.
I'm
right
like,
now.
babe, Gucci just said that he's smoking on Pookie Loke. And she's just like, I don't care.
Yeah. So
Wow.
he's just sometimes.
I am what I am. I'm just, hey, thug life tatted across my belly, man.
Thug life.
That's just who I am, you know? I got to tone it down sometimes, though. You can't, when you have a baby, an infant, you can't come in the house with that energy, with the versus energy.
No, that's true.
You got to tone it down a little bit. That's one thing I realized.
Now the
Maybe a
wedding.
little too late.
The wedding. Yes,
Yes.
you can come.
Well, what is it?
Ring boy.
We don't have a date yet, but we're planning it right
Him
now.
and Parker, the ring bearers.
You're also, bro. Listen. So like, there's a viral trend, right? Where like, there's like adult like the flower boys. Yo, if y'all let me like put on like a little like I don't know like a tutu like with again like
Tutu?
Listen, a tutu over my like coat though. You feel me?
You have to compete with Josh's children. They're probably
Right?
going to be the ring bearers.
And to walk around and like do like the whole flower shit. You know?
I would love to see you do that. Yeah, that sounds
You did
great.
such a good job.
Viral.
man.
Yeah.
I feel like Parker
Please.
is not going to want to do it. I feel like she's going to be too shy. So maybe Flakko could take her.
Bro, I would, or listen, we can do it together. You feel me?
Me and you, I have another
No.
role in the
Him and
wedding.
Parker.
No, me and Parker.
Dancing down the aisle together.
Didn't Parker see you and start crying?
Well, no,
No,
she
she just
like
stared.
She held on tight.
Yeah.
Super tight to Adam. Which I will say though, like seeing her, she does look more so like Adam than like you.
Yeah.
So you don't think I cheated on him and had a baby with someone else?
Some people
No.
think that Lena's not the real mom
What, really? Why?
because it
No,
looks so
I
much
just-
like me. It don't look like
When
her.
I got pregnant, all the comments were like, "Who's the dad?"
Oh.
Like-
Yo, speaking of that, okay, so now some of our female like co-hosts like they are like starting to like realize like this like fan base is extremely toxic towards women.
Let's not put that jacket on all of them.
Some are
Some.
If you're
really
not
toxic.
toxic towards women, say so in the comments.
Yeah.
Shout out to all the women respecters out there.
Yeah. Now, how have you been treated by the No Jumper fan base? Have they been good to you, bad to you? How have they been to you?
I feel like there's a set of them who never want to hear me talk and say, why is she here?
Why does she have a 2.5 hour interview?
And then there's a set of them who have like gotten maybe used to me over the years and my presence, and so they accept me now.
You
But
got so much real life love at the store, but
Yes.
now it's digital.
Yes,
So
but
it
I
might be
think
different.
that they either like think I'm cool or they're probably pretty indifferent towards me.
They probably liked me better when I was doing vlogs about sucking random girls' toes and
Yeah,
shit. You know.
but I think early in those days when we first started hanging out and I was more like consistent in your life, there was comments like, "Bring back the old No Jumper with the random thoughts,"
Yeah. Now we do plug talk.
and now they hate you for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Porn man.
Nah,
Porn
man. But like, speak on your new podcast though. So,
Oh my God.
one, how would that be different from like plug talk, right? Because like even now, like we still like hear you, I guess like interview, like these like random porn girls. So how
Have
would that
you
be
seen
different?
Plug Talk? Like a full episode?
He skips past the combo.
No,
Shocker.
So
No,
Plug
I
Talk
haven't.
is like 30 minutes of us talking to a girl who does porn, and
Yeah.
it goes on OnlyFans.
And
so,
then putting the dick in her.
yeah, no, we
Yeah.
fuck her at the end. But like the conversation part is like very horny conversation. Like the point is that
Mm-hmm.
the people watching are masturbating to it, and then at the end they
Furiously.
get the scene, they get to finish, right?
ferociously,
So it's like
diabolically.
if you want to keep the tone of the interview sexy, there's certain questions that you can't ask because it might go to a very unsexy place. And
Mm-hmm.
so I find that on that podcast, I like take a back seat and I really hold my tongue because a lot of the things I'm interested in asking the girls are not the things that the fans who are trying to jerk off are going to want to hear.
Got you.
And so Touchy Subject is like my opportunity to ask those questions. It's like, I guess, more female perspective in that way, in that I want to know about
therapy.
maybe, I guess. Just
Okay.
going deeper, like not just asking like when was the first time you did DP and how was it? Did you like it? Would you do it again?
Well, and, I mean, she has always had kind of like a weird split fan base where like she can post a video on YouTube and get a couple 100,000 views, and it'll be like her doing some sexy shit or some porn shit or whatever, and she'll look at the analytics and it'll be like 80% guys, and then she could also post a video that's like her talking about being a mom or whatever and get 300,000 views and look at the views and it's like 80% women. So she has like two kind of different fan bases, and that's why I was like really pushing her to do a podcast, because she would always do vlogs over the years and everything, but she was kind of like inconsistent with like not do anything for a year or 6 months at a time or whatever. So I feel like I wanted to help her get in the groove with the podcast, because then she could kind of consistently develop being an on-camera person, because I see it with her where she doesn't mind doing the OnlyFans stuff, she likes doing it, but at the same time, sometimes you're just fucking on camera and you're like, kind of, what is the point of this? Having a podcast, ideally, you could feel like you're doing something that's kind
she's
of
great
that
at it, too.
speaks to you more, right?
Thank you. I feel like I was a lot. I had a lot easier time on camera, like on YouTube back in the day when I was vlogging more.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel like so much pressure about podcasting or just doing a YouTube video, because I was a lot less aware of good podcasting. And now, because I've been with you, like I know what's good and what's bad, and I listen to a ton of podcasts. So I feel like more nervous about my podcast. Like I'm able to criticize it more harshly because of all the knowledge I have now. So I've been skeptical to do it, and I don't even want to draw that much attention to it, even though I'm supposed to be promoting it.
No, you're actually like a better speaker than again, like better than me, but like most people here and who do podcasts, you speak better than like most of us, right? So and I will
But
think
you guys are more entertaining. You guys are funny.
well, yeah, but she's more like, like you know how to express your, I guess, like your like your opinions and like statements like way better than most of us here. So definitely, man. Now, what's what's your dream guest? Like, is it like the call her daddy girl, or like what's like your dream guest on?
I mean, I guess I would be very curious to ask her questions. My dream guest. I haven't really thought like dream guests because I've just been thinking of like all the girls that I know. Adam was my big dream guest, but now he's coming on tomorrow.
Adam?
Dream guest.
She's interviewing me tomorrow.
Okay, that'll be dope.
I mean, I don't think it would be that hard of a get, but I would love for Trisha to come on because I would love to talk
Trisha
to her about
Paytas?
motherhood. Yeah, she's pregnant.
How about Tana?
I would have Tana on. I haven't talked to Tana in a long time. I haven't seen her since her wedding, right?
Probably.
Her wedding to Jake Paul, the fake wedding.
Wow. Okay. Well, hey, cat's out the bag, right?
I think everyone
It's
knew
fake.
that.
No, but like, how about Brittany Renner?
Would I have her on?
Cause I seen your podcast. It was Brittany Renner, you, Adam, and then Tiana Trump. That looked.
I want
extremely
Tiana to come on.
The good old days.
No, but that
When they
looked
were still
extremely awkward.
besties.
Like it looked like there was some tension there.
Yeah, because like at least the one I did with her, I felt like she showed up with the attitude that she wasn't gonna like him, and I kind of felt that. And I know they had another podcast after that, right? And
then she liked me more because I
Yeah.
was nicer to her than T-Rail and AD.
than everyone else.
And
yeah.
then AD bragged because he got the follow.
Okay.
He wouldn't let me forget that he got the follow.
But I want to have Tiana on. She's like scared to do the podcast. She was like, I don't know, send me an episode, let me see it.
Right.
But I don't have a lot of dream guests right now.
You listen. Have on the call her daddy girl,
Amber Heard.
Amber Heard.
bro. If you have on Amber Heard, please allow Adam to.
I'm
to
gonna
like
have you
co-host.
on my podcast.
Let's please. Yo, listen. She said it here. What?
I don't even like the idea of you guys both being in the Plug Talk house together. You might just decide to scurry over the orange couch.
Yo,
It is very
listen.
close to the orange
Let's try
couch.
him out.
No. Yo, listen, man, definitely. And also, last question before we, let Lena leave. So we've been kidnapping her for, 2 hours now? Or how long we been here? Hour 30?
2 hour, 15 minutes or so.
Whoa, that's a long-ass interview, man. Okay.
Finally happened.
Yeah, finally happened, man. Now, Sharp has been, first off, I co-sign Sharp, man. Sharp is the best guy I know. Now, would you ever consider doing a sit-down one-on-one with Sharp? That would be dope.
I would have to watch one of his
Please.
actual episodes. Do you recommend one? The best one for me to watch?
Madison Morgan.
Yeah, watch Massive more. Well, because like Sharp was actually like super decent, and he kind of like he got deep and broke down her psychology, which you as a psychology major might appreciate him going deeper, breaking down, who
I
she
feel like
is.
he would hesitate with me. Like I feel like he wouldn't ask what he wants to ask because of the relationship.
But he was
Yeah,
very
that's
nice to Peyton and Sherry DeVille.
Yeah,
I mean, if you want to see me talk to Sharp, you can arrange with your boss.
I would be
Yeah.
down.
Please. Please, let's do it,
up.
man.
Let's put it through the no jumper ringer.
bro, that would be viral. You and Sharp. Now,
And then I'm coming on the Monday show, and then I'm just kidding.
let's do.
Home
Hold up,
fashions.
though. So, like, how would you handle that though? Like, let's say like Sharp starts doing Sharp things, and how would you handle that? Would you like get up and leave, or would you?
Sharp is a very respectful guy.
Yeah.
I have no
I don't
doubt in my
think that
mind it would be
he-
nice to my
yeah,
sitch.
I don't
Of
think
course.
he would. Like if I wasn't Adam's girlfriend and
Yeah.
I was just a random girl on,
Yeah.
and he started going like this with me,
Yeah.
Stare girl.
I'm just gonna stay here
Uh-huh.
and not talk and like probably like wait till he's done and then respectfully like leave. Okay. Because
That's what Madison Morgan basically
but
did.
it's like, 'cause if someone,
yeah, it's
if
just-
you perceive someone to be speaking irrationally, then like no matter what you do, you're not gonna like penetrate their thinking. So there's no
Don't-
point of
don't
wasting
penetrate
the
Sharp.
energy.
Well,
the
listen.
thinking.
I know for sure that Sharp wouldn't do that, man. Please do it, man. Yeah. So, any last words, Adam?
Everybody check
Let 'em-
out Touchy Subject on YouTube now. Smash a like. Lena
Follow
the
my
plug.
Instagram.
This is definitely the most interview that Lena has ever gotten on here. I had my surrogate Flakko kind of hold
Yeah.
it down.
For 2
My
hours,
proxy.
man.
Will you carry our child too?
Do you
Yeah,
feel like
please.
a weight has been lifted off your shoulder because you finally came on No Jumper and answered all these stressful questions?
Are you
I
shocked?
tried to stay objective.
Did you learn anything that you didn't
I
already
tried
know?
not to make the episode too much about how much I like you, how much I want to fuck the shit out of you tonight, how what a great mom you are. I
But
tried
did
to be
you-
objective.
Did you learn anything new about me? Because now it's like redundant. Now I'm supposed to have you on my podcast tomorrow, and I'm supposed to come up with interesting things to talk to you about. Do you feel like you actually learned anything new about me today?
I think it fleshed out the story for sure. I mean, most of the stuff you said was stuff that I've kind of heard you say before, but no, I think you did well. I'm proud of you.
Well, thank you.
And for 2 hours, are you shocked we talked for this long?
No, I feel like I could talk here for a long time because I'm like very comfortable in this
Well,
environment.
she got ran through by Yola before she came here too.
Stop.
Yola
I
talked to her
did
for an hour and a half before
another
this.
podcast before
Yeah.
this.
Wow. Well, hey, man, at least we did it, man. No jumper.
You survived the Flakko gauntlet,
Yo.
the gulag.
Yo, also, too, at the end of every one of my next interviews, I'm going to do like 10 facts about somebody, right? Where it's me just like doing some FBI research, diving deep into their background, and then, and it'll be you just got flocked, all right? So,
Just got blocked.
my next interview, just know 10 facts that you probably don't want the world to know.
Meet the Flockers.
Yeah.
I was thinking this whole time, like, I wonder if this is going to be a clip. I wonder if this is going to be
Oh,
a
really?
clip. Because I
My
just...
brain thinks about it now too. I
yes,
can't help it.
because
yeah.
I know the Clips channel is such a big
I
thing
feel
here.
the clips forming in my brain
It's
while
like,
doing
Lena
the
and
interview.
Flakko go head to head about abortion. Lena and Flakko talk about her sexual past. Lena and Flakko-
BBC. Yeah, right? Oh, that clip will go viral because a lot of people have been asking, will Lena ever do the BBC scene?
I'm gonna put the dread penis in the thumbnail.
Yeah.
We're really gonna get some views.
Or listen,
I really have to
or
see you guys.
yo, here's how you can make a bag at him. Listen,
Uh-oh.
you tell them, yo, Lena is gonna do a BBC scene, right? You
Spray
put,
paint, man.
You put on
gonna get
dreads,
canceled.
right? Put on dreads, some like face paint. You feel me?
Like Boosie.
Blackface.
Like Boosie
Yes,
with
right?
the dread
You
hat.
want to do blackface? It's a bad idea.
Blackface dress, spray paint your penis, right? And get like a mascara makeup to like cover up, like all like like tattoos and shit.
But you know what happens to
Mascara.
people when they do blackface, right?
What?
They get canceled. We haven't even seen what happens if you do black dick. If you were to paint your dick,
I'm telling you.
I
it
don't
feels-
want that paint inside my vagina.
Yeah, right.
Or,
I mean, it's
and I
gonna
don't
come
wanna
off
suck
after
it.
stroke one.
No, I'm sure there's like
Sorry.
safe paint. You feel me? Like right, like this.
But the
this-
safer
Vagina
the-
safe paint? I
Yeah.
don't think so.
The safer the paint, the more that it's going to rub off. And this is still to say nothing of the fact of that, the cancellation that I would get for doing black dick,
At
which
that
is something
point,
that
though-
no one has ever even thought of until now, really.
No, you know what would
Yeah.
make more sense is if I'm not actually saying we should do this.
Uh-huh.
Just if you put like a fake black dildo over your dick so that you don't have to spray it.
Maybe I could wear a black condom,
Yo, listen, bro.
like a
Adam,
really tight one.
at that point, though, right? If you convince the masses that like this is an actual BBC, bro, you would make like $20 million in like probably like what, like a month.
20 million.
I have one video where I stuck like a black dildo and I was like
Mm-hmm.
scrolling on my OnlyFans in front of Adam and he thought I cheated on him. He was like,
was like, "What's that?"
Wait, what's that? I was like, it's a dildo.
Oh wait,
I knew it wasn't real.
wait. So like you choose the black dildo because of like the request, or
Yes.
was that just like your random? Okay.
I want
Vibes.
to cater to all my audiences.
Optics.
Wow. Wait, I mean, like, do you have like a Spanish dildo then? If you have a black
They don't
dildo.
really like sell that at the store.
Damn. Well, to all the Spanish fans, sorry.
Do you have my fleshlight? I feel like you would
Shut up,
be someone
Lena.
who has my fleshlight.
Do you want one? We were going to have him here, but then Fleshlight didn't want to do the deal.
I've never owned a flashlight, but I was a heavy consumer of the premium snap.
Okay.
That's
Heavy
cool.
consumer.
Appreciate that.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Okay.
For
Yeah,
sure.
man.
I'm gonna go pee now. Bye,
Big
guys.
flock.
No jumper, coolest, simplest podcast in the world. We're out of here, folks.
Is that phonetically correct? Coolest,
Coolest,
simpest? I don't know.